Hi everyone, this is Fire, and today I wanted to try something a little bit new. This is something I've seen a lot of my favorite YouTubers and streamers and whatever do who are big achievement hunters. Basically what they do is every benchmark amount of time they look back over their Xbox and all of their achievements and kind of see the road they got to their achievement milestone. So the person I'm specifically thinking about right now, Maka91, he does a little overview of his achievements every 100,000 Gamerscore or so on his road to a million and beyond. So I don't know if I'm ever going to reach 1 million, but I did recently reach 100,000 in the last few months, and I've gone past it since. But I've always kind of wanted to do a talk over of the games I played and the achievements I've gotten to get here, and I think it'd be kind of fun. It'll be kind of a long video and probably a lot longer than I've talked continuously for a while. But I've always wanted to do it, and I don't know, I think it could be a little fun. So, yeah, if you want to tag along for this journey, feel free. Like I said, we'll be here a while, so feel free to sit back, grab a coffee, relax. One thing you do notice if we are talking about Xbox achievements, we are not on Xbox right now looking at those achievements. We are actually on trueachievements.com. If you're familiar with achievement hunting and the achievement community, you've probably seen it before. If not, this is probably your first time. But basically, it's a website that also tracks your achievement score and your gamer score in a similar but different way to Xbox. Instead of ranking it by gamer score, it ranks every achievement by rarity and how many gamers actually have it. So it's kind of a better indicator of how unique your achievements are and how hard you actually worked for those achievements, which is kind of nice. But more importantly, for our purposes, I'm using it instead of Xbox because when you look over achievements on Xbox, a lot of times things get pretty glitchy. Like sometimes it'll show your achievements as being worth 0 gamer score, or it'll clear your data, not permanently, just when you look over it. But I didn't want to deal with all of the weird glitches and stuff that Xbox has, and this will serve the same purpose, but with faster loading times and everything. So I'm just gonna look over it here through True Achievements. And also, like I mentioned, I have definitely gone past 100,000 gamer score. I think I'm at 107,000 right now. But we're gonna go up to 100,000, look at the games that got me here, and just talk about them a little bit, give some ideas of what the achievement hunting was like, give some recommendations, just, fun stuff like that. Share my experience if anyone's interested. Okay, well, I guess without further ado, sit back and relax, and we're gonna get started. So starting off, we're gonna head over here to our games tab. This is a list of every game I've played. Again, we're only going up to 100,000, which is going to be Rock Band 3 and the story there. Everything past this is things I've been playing more recently for the last 7,000. So let me jump over here back to the beginning, and we can start our story of achievement hunting. So starting off, we're going to note that the very first date here is June 26th, 2015. I have been using Xbox and achievement hunting long before June of 2015. But unfortunately, there's a story there where my old account was actually password protected by my parents, because I had parents that were kind of worried that I would spend money, and when I was living under their roof, you know how it goes. But unfortunately for that account, my parents actually forgot their password for that account, and the recovery email linked to that account was an email they no longer used. So basically, I got locked out of that account entirely because of the parental restrictions, and I lost about 25,000 gamer score in all of the games I played there. So that account was Cataclysmic Entropy, if anyone's curious. I think it still exists, I just can't access it anymore. So yeah, all of those gamer score and all of that time and effort I put on that account was lost. And in 2015, I decided to start over and make my own account. No parental restrictions, totally under my control. And that's where we have this account, which is Fyreii. Originally, when I made this account, I was FireComet117 because I thought everyone with numbers in their name was really cool. So I was like, oh, I want numbers in my name, and I want to be cool too. I mean, once I eventually started playing online more, I realized that the opposite was true. that the people with names like Fire Comet 117 were auto-generated, and the people with like short cool names were the ones that were cool. So I switched from Fire Comet 117 to Fyreii, which the story behind that even is funny because originally when I switched from Fire Comet 117 to Fyreii, I wasn't thinking it was going to be read as Fyreii. I was thinking it was going to be Fire 2, like the Roman numeral, 1 1, I. So in my head, when I first made it, it was Fire 2. So then I paid the $10 and switched it and showed it to all my online friends. I'm like, look at my new gamers tag. And they said, oh, Fyreii. And at first I was really confused and concerned because I was like, no, I don't want to be Fyreii. I want to be Fire 2, I guess. Um, but eventually Fyreii stuck with me and I became Fyreii. And that's the account we have here now. You can see me in the upper corner here. I'm Fyreii. But back in the ye old days of June 2015, I began this account as FireComet117. And the very first thing I did is I went back and started playing a lot of the games that I played on my old account to get achievements and Gamerscore to essentially just like rebuild my Gamerscore and rebuild my reputation as a gamer. However, the very first thing I did before that was I went to go play Assassin's Creed Unity. And Assassin's Creed Unity, if you can see here, I only have 2 out of the 57 achievements, and hours aren't really shown here, but I've maybe played this game for like 2 hours. Yeah, I got Assassin's Creed Unity for Christmas one year, and I thought I was really going to like it, but I really did not. Everything about the combat system that they changed and the way it played and everything about it was not fun to me at all. So I tried to get into it. You can see I played the prologue in the first memory sequence, but I immediately knew this game was not for me. So I abandoned it at 2 hours. You can see here, 2 hours and 7 minutes. I'm probably never going back to this game, because as much as I love the Assassin's Creed games, I have played enough of them, and I don't want to go waste my time with a bad game. So, yeah, funnily enough, the very first game on this account, which is Assassin's Creed Unity, was one that I immediately dropped and got tired of. So, which is sad, but thankfully most of the other games on this account are a little bit. I spent a little bit more time on. It's gonna take me back to the wrong page, but that's fine. Dragon Age Inquisition is the next game we have here, and Inquisition is a fun story because it's probably just one of my favorite games of all time, period. You can see here, I have 153 hours in it. Inquisition was my first Dragon Age game, and it was just by far one of the best games I played in 2015, and also one of the best games I played ever. It's just such a good RPG and such a good introduction to that world. You just have so much fun being Inquisitor and saving the world from these demons and being this big, special, important person in the world. In a way, it's a lot like Skyrim, where you're like very much like fate touched and destined to save everyone. So if that's a little too cliche for you, it might not be like up your alley. Plus, it's very, very like dialogue heavy, character heavy, and like a lot of third person action, which again I know kind of turns some people off from it. But I didn't think I was about third person action, and I still enjoyed it a lot, especially because I like the character and story driven ideas so much that they really carried me through everything else. So I had a good time with it. As far as achievements go for this, I think I mostly just stuck to. A lot of them are pretty basic, and I just stuck to the basics of getting through them. Yeah, slay 10 high dragons in single player mode, defeat 1,000 demons. This is all pretty standard stuff. Nothing here really stands out. Yeah, for the most part, a lot of the achievements you get while playing this game are just kind of natural progression achievements, things that you would get by just playing all the missions or like completing all of these side quests or collecting all of these things. A lot of the ones I don't have are either things that required way too much grind or DLC that I didn't have and didn't want to bother with. Like on Burning Wings here, this is absolutely the DLC that I didn't buy. Harvest 50 herbs from Skyhold's garden in a single playthrough. This just takes so much grinding that I didn't want to deal with. Same thing here with Master Alchemist. Purchase a new decoration for Skyhold. This one was glitched for me, so I could never figure it out. So, yeah, so that's basically what a lot of this is. And you can see here is more DLC, more DLC, more DLC. And these are all trials. I never do trials. So, for the most part, getting about as many achievements as I got, 2/3, is going to come pretty naturally. Everything past that is going to be either DLC or a ton of grinds that I didn't feel like doing. So, as far as a game to play for Gamerscore, it's not the best. But if you want like a really good story experience and a really good like RPG in general, Dragon Age Inquisition is a pretty safe bet. Back over here to Assassin's Creed 2. Again, we're going back to the games that I went back to play to kind of recover the gamer score that I had. Assassin's Creed 2 is a game that I've played millions of times to hell and back. I can never get enough of it, and I always seem to be going back trying to clean up one last achievement or do one last thing. And even now, if you look at my gamer score and my percentage here, I have 94%, so there's, I think, 2 or 3 things I missed. So, Assassin's Creed 2 is a really good Assassin's Creed game. You know, it's basically what you'd expect. Go around, murder people, stalk people, do your assassinations, run away. And pretty much all of these achievements are just for things like completing DNA sequences and getting collectibles and getting all the collectibles, and doing a certain amount of things like pickpocketing 1,000 florins. So, for the most part, achievement hunting is really easy in this game, and you can see by all these high blue bars, pretty much everyone has done it. The only things I haven't done were things that I just couldn't get to work during my natural playthrough, and I couldn't be bothered to go back with, because at this time, I had replayed this game so many times in a row. Like, sweep 5 guards at once via using a long weapon. I distinctly remember doing this on my old account, but then when I tried to set it up for this account and do it again, it just wouldn't happen for me. I could only get like 3 or 4 guards. I could never get the 5th. Same thing here. Distinct memories of throwing sand in enough people's faces, but I just couldn't get it here. So I just kind of gave up on this, which is pretty unfortunate because a lot of these aren't too difficult to get, especially like this no-hitter one. I know the methods now for how to get that, but at the time I was just so sick of playing this and was trying to recover as much gamer score as quickly as possible during that summer of 2015 that I just kind of got what I got and moved on. So overall, if you are playing this game for a gamer score, pretty easy. Otherwise, it's a pretty good game. Probably one of the best Assassin's Creed games. This or Brotherhood, I would say, is probably the best. So if you want the Assassin's Creed experience, don't play anything like Unity. Go play something like this or Brotherhood, and get all your achievements and have a good time. So yeah. Next here we have Titanfall. Oh man. Titanfall is a game that's very near and dear to my heart because it's the very first game I really started playing that had online play. You can see here I have 66 hours and 50% of the achievements, but this isn't really even entirely true. I actually played a lot of this game on my dad's account, and his account was like, it's such a dad name for an account. His account name was Daddy Z Man, because it's like Daddy Man is what like us kids used to call him when we were young. So he really leaned into that, and that was his gamer tag for a while. Anyways, using his account, I actually pretty much maxed this game. I got all the way to the highest ranking, whatever that was called, like the Platinum G ranks or whatever they were. Basically, when they stopped numbering it and they just gave you like the medals. I got all the way that. I maxed my person, I maxed my Titan. I had insane matches where I would go like 22-2 and just essentially be legend. This is the only online game I ever considered myself truly good at, and I still have some screenshots of my stats. And by screenshots, by screenshots, I mean photos I took of my actual TV screen because I didn't know how to screenshot, and I I wanted to commemorate it, but I didn't know how. So maybe I'll throw some of those up. But Back in the olden days, I used to be pretty good. Anyways, as far as actually achievement hunting goes, starting off, don't play this game for achievements because it's literally impossible now. Titanfall is a game I played until its very last dying days. I specifically remember being in a queue for attrition, and there was like, I think, 10 game modes for Titanfall. Um, Attrition was the most popular, but the day that I remember specifically, every other game mode had 0 people in queue, and Attrition had maybe 20 people in queue. And I was sitting in a lobby with like one other person waiting for our like roster to fill for like a half hour, and I got maybe one game of attrition in with those other few people who were online. And then I just kind of looked at Titanfall and I came to terms with the fact that it was done. And I think like maybe less than a month later they shut down the servers. So I think they might be back up now, funnily enough, because Titanfall is on EA Xbox Game Pass. I would have to check. But I was really there for Titanfall's last days, and I played so much Titanfall. It was so fun. So don't play it now because, again, there's still probably nobody playing it. If anyone's playing Titanfall, honestly, they're probably just playing Titanfall 2, which I never played, but I plan to eventually. Plus, independent of the fact that there's nobody on the servers, um, all of these achievements just took so long to get. Like, even some of these, you see, wall ran for 5 kilometers. This is so basic, but even then, we only have like 20% of the people getting it because it just takes so much time. Played 50 campaign matches, won a campaign level as every pilot. Like, all of these, it just, none of them are necessarily hard, they just take so much time. Like, kill 10 ejecting pilots. I've killed plenty of ejecting pilots, but killing them exactly before they hit the ground and just being in a situation where you can kill them without getting shot yourself, it takes so long. So, again, a lot of these I've gotten on the other account, but also it just takes so long and so many hours of grind to get all of these. It's a terrible game to play for achievements, but playing for fun is the best thing ever. And I have so many fond memories of Titanfall and just rolling through matches and making my way through attrition games. Ugh. Yeah, I miss Titanfall. It truly is the that one shooter that really got close to my heart, which is why it's shocking to me that I haven't played Titanfall 2. But it's a really good experience. It definitely was. So if you ever want to experience Titanfall, I'm just gonna say buy Titanfall 2 and play the campaign. Don't bother with Titanfall 1. It had its heyday. It is now a relic of the past for those of us who are there to remember. But just enjoy Titanfall 2. It'll be all the same fun stuff with some new shit and actual story. So, God, I talked way too long about Titanfall. We're like already way too into this video. Oh no, I knew it was gonna be long. Let's see if I can speed it up. Okay. Next, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. This is the only Call of Duty I've played, like with story, with online, all of that stuff, and even then I barely played it. I have what 21 achievements out of way too many. 50? Yeah. So, and pretty much all of my achievements are either story or collectible achievements that were really easy. Yeah, see, I didn't do any of the veteran difficulty stuff. I barely did any of the online stuff. Yeah, Call of Duty was a decent enough time for me, like a decent enough shooter, a decent enough story. But I never really connected to it the way some other people did. So therefore, it never really got a place in my heart. And again, this was the only Call of Duty I ever really played. So if you're playing it for achievements, I hear the veteran difficulty ones are kind of a bitch, especially when you get like killed in one shot. But some people, actually a decent amount of people, put in the grinds to do it. So if you're the kind of person who could do that and do all those hardcore modes, then good on you. I am really and truly not. So that's couldn't be me. Also, I never played zombies, which I know is blasphemy to some people, but one day I will. When I get a good group of friends and a more modern Call of Duty game, I will play zombies. But yeah, For now, Call of Duty and we never really synced. We're two different people. It's not going to work out. Uh, Next, we have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, the other good Assassin's Creed games. Pretty similar to the last one. Pretty much everything here is either story stuff or collectible stuff, like Solve All of Succeed's puzzles. This is basically a collectible. All of Borgia flags, that's a collectible. Some of these are just doing shit, like jump with a parachute off of Castle Sant'Angelo. This is basically the highest building in the game. You just have to spend 20 minutes climbing to the top and then jump off and parachute. So yeah, all these are pretty easy, just kind of checking things off the list. As a result, I have a decent amount. Everything I don't have was, I think, similar to the last game, just things I couldn't get to work, or things I couldn't be bothered with. Oh, actually, you know what? No, that's not true. The only thing I don't have in normal game is win the highest bet at fights, which just took a lot of grind that I didn't want to do. And everything else I don't have is multiplayer only, and DLC. Because I didn't want to get the DLC, and by the time I played this in 2015, whatever, no one was playing the multiplayer. So, games with multiplayer or games with DLC I don't want will forever be the bane of my achievement hunting experience. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who can relate to that. So, but it's a good game. I would definitely recommend. Not the best for Gamerscore, and especially with those multiplayer achievements, but it's a good game. Probably one of the better Assassin's Creed games. A lot more character driven, bigger world, more Assassin's Brotherhood, building connections instead of just you being on your own. So I like that a lot about the game. Next up, we have another Assassin's Creed. Again, I was really just going back to the fucking games I had on my shelf and trying to do cleanup for them, and all the Assassin's Creed were just kind of sitting next to each other, so I was like, sure, why not? Assassin's Creed Revelations, not the best for achievement hunting, which is why I only have 35%. Again, I have all the basics, like do all of these, get all the collectibles, but then I have none of the multiplayer. 100% sync. They added all of these optional objectives, were just a bitch and a half to get that I couldn't be bothered with. A million like missions and grindy stuff that I just couldn't do. And then obviously DLCs. So I couldn't be bothered with a lot of this game, especially because this is one of the last best Assassin's Creed games. So it was an okay end to Ezio's story, I think. But as far as like mechanics go, it was alright overall. So if you are already invested in the Assassin's Creed series, and especially Ezio's story, so that would be 2 and Brotherhood, I would say play Revelations. Otherwise, don't really bother. There are better. Don't bother. There are better Assassin's Creeds out there. Alright, next we have Skyrim. Oh boy. Skyrim's a fun one. I've replayed Skyrim 3 times. Twice, which is this version, the base vanilla version. And then I've also recently replayed it and did the definitive edition and actually did everything. So, as far as achievements here, pretty much everything I don't have are going to be 2 things. One, this is DLC I didn't have. Big shock. Yeah, see, Dragonborn, Hearthfire. And then the only things that I have from the original game that aren't here is defeat a legendary dragon and collect 15 Daedric artifacts. This one about the collecting Daedric artifacts, Oblivion Walker, this was an achievement that used to haunt me at night because I did collect all 15 Daedric artifacts twice in 2 playthroughs, but my game was glitched, or like the way I got them through the missions was glitched, and it didn't give me this achievement. So this haunted me for so long about the fact that I couldn't get it. I eventually got this achievement on the the definitive edition, but I never got it on this base edition of Skyrim, and that hurt me forever. This one doesn't hurt me. To defeat a legendary dragon, you have to be like level 78 plus. And even in this game, like you basically finish the game and all of the good quests by level 50. So I had 0 interest in grinding up to level 78 just so I could get one achievement, because that would have taken way too long. So I abandon it here. I'm never going to go back and do that, and I didn't do it on the definitive edition either, which is what I played recently. So that's just one of those achievements that is not worth the grind for me. I mean, it is for some people and good for them, but either way, as far as general like playability of this game, Skyrim is a great game. It's iconic, full of bugs, but even the bugs are iconic at this point. Um, and besides like the two achievements I just mentioned, this one that's glitched and this one that takes way too long to grind, everything else is super gettable. So if you haven't played Skyrim, you are still just missing out. I would say 100% play it. Just be really careful when you're doing the Daedric one and follow a guide so you don't accidentally lock yourself out of it. And if you're cool enough to get the level 78 one, then you are much more dedicated than I can ever be. So kudos to you. Halo Reach. This is our first Halo here, but not by far the first Halo I played. Um, Halo was the game that taught me like how to use a controller and taught me what video games are. The original Halo back on the Xbox. So Halo has always held a very close place to my heart. But Halo Reach was the only one I really felt like fun and comfortable playing alone. All the rest, specifically because of the flood, I always wanted to play with other people because I was too scared. So I'm kind of over that now, but even then, Halo's just so much more of a fun experience playing it co-op with your best friend that I think Halo Reach is the only one I played alone. And that's exactly what I did here. I played it alone to get some quick Gamerscore. Basically just all of the main missions. And that's it. A lot of these are, yeah, a lot of what I don't have is like, complete this on Legendary, complete it on Heroic, complete it with a friend, and then a few things that I definitely have done in the other game I just didn't want to do again. Like clear the second mission without setting foot into a drivable vehicle. I've 100% done that before. I don't know why it's not here. I think it's just because I did it on the other account. So, yeah. Again, this is really the period of me hopping on games quickly just to get a little bit of gamer score and then moving on. So that's what Reach was. I replayed the story. I moved on again. But Reach is a good game. Arguably one of the better Halos just because the flood aren't there. And it was one of the Halos with actually like a really grounded, understandable story compared to some of the other ones where you're just things are happening and people are arguing and you're like, sure, uh-huh. So Reach is a good game because it's Halo. But beside that, there's nothing too special about it and no necessary reason to really play it for achievements. Next game we have is Fallout 3. So, Fallout 3 is a Fallout game. Yeah. So this was actually the first time I played Fallout 3. And I played it. This wasn't my first Fallout game. I actually started by playing Fallout 4, and I played it on my other account. But then when I went back to this account, I was like, okay, I'm just going to play them in order. So we started here with Fallout 3. And Fallout 3 is a mixed bag, as I'm sure you've heard a lot of people say. On one hand, it is like insanely ugly. Everything is green and buggy, and it really shows its age, especially today. There's a lot of really boring fetch quests or just walking around emptiness that you do in this game that I do not care for at all, especially anymore. But, big but, there are a lot of really strong moments in this game. There's a lot of really, really good quests. Like the quest for like getting that violin for that one old lady in the wasteland, or the quest when you like fight the bug people. Oh, here's the one for the violin lady. Yeah, Agatha's song. Stealing Independence is good. I think you literally go fucking find the Declaration of Independence. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, so a lot of the actual, like, they have a lot of good quests in there. It's just kind of buried beneath a really world that's too big and a little too boring for my taste. But it's still a good experience, and I enjoy the Fallout games immensely, even when they don't exactly hit the nail on the head. So I played a lot of this game I think, again, the only things I didn't get were, yeah, I didn't get anything for bad or neutral karma. I couldn't be bothered with weapon customization. I'm amazed I didn't get these for terminals and locks. I did so many of those. Same with locations. But then all of this is just achievements I didn't get again. I recently replayed this on PC with all of the DLC, and I did pretty much everything. But again, when I replayed it at this point, I was just really doing it for some quick gamer score. So, if you haven't played Fallout 3, though, it's definitely worth playing. It's a good RPG, just a little ugly and a little bit empty. But if you could get past that and get to the actual good content, usually by like looking up what that good content is, you'll have a good time with it. I definitely did. Fallout New Vegas. I told you we're making our way through the Fallout games. New Vegas is my favorite game of all time. It is by far the best Fallout. It's one of the best RPGs. And just one of Obsidian's best. Like, even looking at their newer stuff, it's just so good. It takes everything you love about the original Fallouts and everything that was good from the new ones and just mashes it up into this complete and perfect package. You can't judge me here by my percentage and or what I have and haven't gotten down here for achievements because I've replayed this so many times on PC with all DLCs and just beat it to living hell and back. But it's such a good game. It's so grounded. It makes such good use of game design and game mechanics, and just it makes you so invested in your character and this world like never before. And it has such like real world philosophy and intelligent writing. And John Gonzalez is so talented. Oh my god! If you haven't played New Vegas, please play it. Even if you didn't like the other Fallouts, it's just the best Fallout experience, hands down, by far. Um, Achievement hunting in it, it's pretty easy to get about like 80% of these. A few of them are going to require like replays, stuff like that, but it's such a good game. If you haven't played New Vegas, you're genuinely missing out. So do yourself a favor and go play New Vegas. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I would never stop. Let's see, Portal 2. Portal 2 is another game I've played way too many times. Everything I don't have here is just multiplayer. Yeah, you can see it's all this multiplayer stuff, which again I've done on PC. So that's kind of a common theme here. Is I went back and replayed these games on PC to get everything, but when I played them here, I was just kind of doing achievement cleanup. Even so, again, it's pretty easy to get pretty much all of these. The last ones you'll need to get the full completion are just about having friends. So if you don't have friends, I'm sorry, but if you do have friends, you'll be fine. Um, but there's nothing too notable here for achievements. Really, the only thing to note is that this is Portal. So it's all puzzles, it's all moving your way through this weird environment. But this game is also just one of the funniest games ever written, and honestly just one of the best games ever. It's just the perfect balance of difficulty and fun and shock value and twists and turns and everything. So, if you haven't played Portal 2 yet, you're missing out on probably one of the most iconic games of all time. So, it's not one of my personal favorites anymore. It used to be, but like, it's such a good, well-rounded game that, and it's such a funny game. It's such a funny game that you should honestly really play it. Next, we have Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 was pretty divisive among Assassin's Creed fans. Some people really liked it and really liked Connor as a protagonist. Other people really didn't. I was pretty neutral on it. I thought the game was fine. I thought Connor was fine. But this is the point when I kind of stopped grinding out Assassin's Creed games, especially because they added all the multiplayer achievements and DLC achievements. Again, you could see all this stuff. I wasn't going to buy it. I wasn't going to do it. So, if you already like Assassin's Creed, this is probably a fun play. Or if you really like American history, because this Assassin's Creed was all set during like the American Revolution. If you're into either of that, you'd probably enjoy this game. Otherwise, I'd probably say give it a pass. It's not the best for Gamerscore. It's a pretty average game and average story overall, so you'll have an average time with it if you're anything like me. Next, we have Fallout 4. This is my second playthrough of Fallout 4 here. Um, and yeah, this was my first Fallout, but like I said, I played it, and then on my first account, then on this account, went back and played them all in order, so we have Fallout 4 here. So, Fallout 4 is a game. It's really big, it's really buggy. I think overall it's probably the weakest Fallout in terms of like writing. Like I've played the most, like I have 128 hours here. I think that's the most amount of hours I've put into a single Fallout game. I think. No, I think I have more in New Vegas. Either way, Fallout 4 in my opinion has the most forgettable writing and quests. There's some really good characters for sure, like Piper and Hancock they're such iconic. Oh, and Valentine. Oh my god, how could I almost forget Valentine? They're such iconic NPCs in this game, and I think that's probably what it does best. But everything else, the side quests, the items, the encounters, the entire main story, super forgettable, super weak. I didn't really. The first time I played it, I was having a good time because it was my first Fallout. But with perspective and having played 3 in New Vegas now, I can see that Fallout 4 really and truly was the weakest younger sibling. So, if you're gonna get into Fallout, I would say start with 3 and then make your way forward. And also appreciate New Vegas because that was the best. But Fallout 4 is kind of meh. If you already like Fallout, you'll enjoy it. Otherwise, kind of skippable in my opinion. As far as for achievements, these are all pretty easy. I have 76%, and again, everything I don't have is DLC. So, big shock. That's the story of my life, especially with these early games. So, but yeah, Fallout 4 is an okay Fallout game. I'd give it a B or a C. It's whatever. Play it if you like Fallout. Next is Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I tried replaying this on my own, and I got through, I think, just the Silent Cartographer. And that's it. You can see this is me trying to play it all on my own, and like, being like, okay, I'm a big kid, I'm gonna play Halo all by myself. But playing this by myself made me realize that I don't like playing Halo games by myself. Partially because they're scary, partially because I have so many memories tied to playing it with other people. I just really and truly enjoy Halo with other people. So, I have played this game all the way through, don't worry. It's just always been with others because co-op Halo is just so fun. And when I did it actually on the Master Chief Collection, just not the actual original game. The actual original game, I tried playing through on my own, finished Silent Cartographer, threw in the towel. So, but Halo is a really good series. There's a reason it's carried the Xbox platform for all of these years. It's because it's good. It's such a good shooter. It's so fun. Writing's a little wonky, but nobody cares because it plays so good. It doesn't matter. So, I would say play Halo, but play it with friends. Especially for these achievements. There's so many that are like legendary or just 21 minutes or less. Yeah, no. Play with friends. Get a friend who's better than you, and you'll be fine. You'll have fun. Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. This was a game that I got for free because of Xbox Gold, and I played through it with my boyfriend, Zach. So, this is a really, really, really good couple game because it's all about flying this little spaceship, and you guys have to manage different parts of it as you kind of move through space. Let me see. You can kind of see the spaceship in this art here. So, like, but like one people will be on like lasers and the other people will be on shields, and you kind of like have to manage both as you navigate through space with all these monsters and everything. And then there's levels where you just kind of fly around and navigate through like really narrow corridors, and then there's levels that are boss fights, and it's a really nice variation, and it's actually a really nice co-op game. I think a lot of co-op games are really made in a way where you guys can kind of both be doing your own thing and you're both kind of fine. Like Halo Combat Evolved is like that, and most Halo games, you can both be shooting in different directions and you're still accomplishing what you need to. But Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time is one of those co-op games that really encourages actually working together. So I think it's really good for that. And surprisingly, a lot of people don't have these achievements. Yeah, make two power metal missiles collide, survive after being fully enveloped in a bomb trap, finish a level without taking damage. Yeah, a lot of these are just about like getting a good partner to work with you and cooperating your way through this. So, in my opinion, nothing here is really too hard, except for all of these things about beating enemies without like taking a hit or before they recover shields. That's that's difficult, but like the base game, if you have a good partner, is a really good time and a pretty easy amount of gamer score. So I like Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time a lot. Walking Dead Season 2. I played this on PC, I played it on Xbox. If you know the Walking Dead series, you know it's pretty much just easy gamer score because all of the achievements you get are just for playing the game. Like all these things, took a breather, stop for the night. These are all unmissable story-based achievements. So you just play the game, you get the achievements. No BS, no hoops to jump through. So, but even though it is just easy gamer score, this is still a pretty good series. Um, and probably one of Telltale's best, just in general. Season 2 is probably the weakest Walking Dead, but the Walking Dead games in general are a good experience. If you like zombies, if you like story-driven narratives, you'll enjoy it. So, I give this one a solid recommendation. Next up is Gone Home. Gone Home is another one I think I got for free because of Xbox Gold. And this is another 100% completion. Woohoo. We're finally getting into some of them. Um, this is a pretty simple game. It's a walking simulator, so pretty much all of these will come naturally. The only things that are really notable for achievements are this one, your speedrunner one, complete the game in less than 1 minute with no modifiers enabled. The actual actions you have to do are really straightforward, but getting them in less than 1 minute takes a few tries. I think this took me like 10 or 15 tries to get it under that 1 minute mark because I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. I got 101, 102. So it's a nice like taste of what life of a speedrunner is like without actually being that difficult at all because all you have to do is walk along precise lines basically. But that's pretty fun. And then I think the other notable one, let's see. Oh, here we go. Speed Reader, complete the game with having all 24 journal entries without modifiers in less than 10 minutes. If you use a guide, this one's easy, but it's just a lot of go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, go here. I actually don't like games with achievements like this because I feel like it forces you to experience the game, as much of the game as fast as possible without actually getting anything out of it. So it's kind of a stupid achievement in my opinion. Like having this, like collecting all commentary nodes, I think that's totally fine. But combining it with doing it in less than 10 minutes just means nobody's actually listening to those nodes. So I don't know. I think that was a weird choice on their part to have this achievement. But this is probably the most difficult one. But yeah, in general though, it's a walking simulator. As long as you can walk and follow guides, you would be fine to 100% it. Story-wise, I think it was better the year it came out than it is nowadays. It's not terrible, and I am happy for the LGBT representation. I just think there's so many better games with LGBT representation that this one's just kind of okay, meh. So if you get it for the gamer score. Next is Oxenfree. Again, we're just getting a stack of 100%, so feels good, finally. Oxenfree is a really, really good half like puzzle, half walking simulator game. Except it's like third person walking simulator, not first person. It's like kind of a mystery, light horror kind of thing, which doesn't sound like it'd be my alley at all because I am a big, big baby. But I really, really liked Oxenfree. It's one of my favorite games, and Everything the studio puts out is really good and really enjoyable. So, I have played this game through, 6 or 7 times because all by like needing to 100% it because I have it on Steam and I have it on Xbox, and completing it for all of the achievements takes 3 playthroughs. So I did 3 playthroughs on Steam and 3 playthroughs on Xbox to 100% this. So I know this game inside and out. But even with all those playthroughs, it's a good game. And given maybe like one more year, I would probably consider playing it again because it's that good. So play Oxenfree. Um, if you can stand doing other playthroughs, then you can probably get the 100%. Otherwise, just play it once. It's worth even a single play. It's such a good game. Next, Tales from the Borderlands. I think I also got this one for free through Xbox Gold. Yeah, back in the day, Xbox Gold used to be lit, man. Fuck. They really had all the best games. So, anyway, Tales from the Borderlands is another Telltale game, which means all of these you just get by playing the main story. It says like episode 2 here, like it's DLC, but you really just buy these all together and then you get them all. So, nothing at all difficult about getting these achievements. You just play the story, and it is a pretty good story. I would say the actual Borderlands games are better than this because this is a spinoff, but it's still pretty enjoyable. I like these characters a lot, Reese and Fiona, and it's a good taste of Borderlands without the whole Borderlands experience. So it's a good time. Next is Grow Up. Grow Up is another game that I got for free for Xbox Gold, and pretty much all of the achievements here and everything you're gonna do for this game just involves like exploring the world, collecting things, and building your way up onto the sky to the moon. So you can see here I did complete all challenges, blast a critter this long, collect all crystals. So a lot of collectibles, a lot of navigating the world, things like that. So at a glance, this looks like the sort of game I could never be bothered to put forth the time and get all the way through, because there's so much navigation, so much collection you need to do, so much going in circles and circles around this world. But something about like the 3D, the zero gravity exploration just like really stuck with me through this game, and it made me play all the way through. I think plus even then, if you look, I have 13 hours here for an 100% completion. That's not bad at all. So I think that's really what it is. This game is just the perfect amount of like longness that it makes you feel like you can put in the time to complete it, which is what I did. I 100%ed it. So, if you like 3D exploration games, it's a good time. If you don't like that, then probably pass, because I think that's the whole game. You really just explore and make your way upwards. So, anything beyond exploration, if you're like, no, exploration isn't enough for me, I need things to do, I need things to shoot, then probably pass. But as far as exploration goes, if you can just explore and explore it for 13 hours, you can get that 100% and you'll enjoy this game. Slime Rancher is next. Oh man. Slime Rancher is one of the best adventure games I have ever played. It is so cute, it is so adorable, and the world design is so good. The UI design is so good. All of the little slimes are so cute, and the actual like story that you follow along, like as you get to the end of the world, is so touching. I got to the last like little Dana note that you read, and I cried for real. Slime Rancher is such a good game. Literally, probably the best adventure game I've ever played. Um, Everybody discounts it because it's so like cutesy and like, oh, casual baby game, you know? But no, genuinely, Slime Rancher is such a good game, such a fun time. Um, I think it won my Xbox Game of the Year awards in my personal game awards for 2018 because it was just that good. Um, and again, I played the shit out of it. I think the only achievements I didn't get were, yeah. Um, this is all about just waiting for a random spawn that I can never get to spawn for me, so I didn't bother waiting. This was in a DLC that I didn't really feel like playing, and I tried it, but I didn't really like it. It was like a speed thing. And then Slime Ball was a game that I was just never good at, so I didn't want to do it. But everything else I could possibly do in this game, I did, and I had a great time with it. And I love Slime Rancher, and I miss it so much. Every day I think about going back to Slime Rancher, but I think I'm done with it. But it was such a good game. If you like adventure or cuteness, even a little bit, please go play Slime Rancher. Do yourself a favor. It's so good. Regardless of the fact that it's an easy gamer score, go do it. It's so good. So worth it. Next up, we have Super Hot. Super Hot is a game I played a surprising amount of. I would have played more of it, but I actually lost my save data on it. So my original intention was to 100% it, and you can see here the things I didn't do was all like beat all challenges and get all these things for the speed running challenges. I was working my way through these actually. Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, I was working my way through these actually on my save. I was about like 65% of the way through, and then all of my data disappeared. So I was like, fuck. It wasn't the game's fault. It was like transferring systems kind of thing. So it was a mistake I made. But Super Hot is a really cool concept, really cool game about being in bullet time and fighting your way through like an action hero. So super super cool actually. Has a lot of like achievements and challenge based stuff that takes quite a grind and takes you back through the levels a lot. And I know that isn't for everyone. And I can really tell it isn't for everyone because some of the achievements even I have such a low get rate, like what, 4%, 3%. So, but I was going to make my way through it. Never got around to it. Probably won't anymore because I don't want to start all those challenges over from scratch. But it's a really cool game and a cool concept if you haven't played it. A little bit difficult and a little bit of a grind if you're going for all the achievements, but at the very least, I think everyone should experience the main story at least once. Next up is The Witness. The Witness is a very, very long puzzle game. I started doing The Witness, like, honestly, by, like, doing all these puzzles myself, but there's almost too many puzzles, and there's too much of it, that I really just got bored of doing the puzzles, and I just used a guide to get my way through all of these. So it's a pretty game, not the best puzzle game. Not that the puzzles have anything wrong with them. I just think you just really get so sick of puzzles by the end of it. By even like an hour into it, that it's weirdly exhausting. So I don't know. People have a lot of mixed feelings on The Witness. My take is there's just too much of it. Um, but I will say, if you are going to use a guide for this, be at least somewhat familiar with how the puzzles work, because of this achievement right here, reach the end. Um, all of the puzzles in the game have set solutions, so like you can follow a guide online and just they'll show you how to do like here's the solution of this puzzle, here's the solution of this puzzle, etc., etc. Except for the door to the end game puzzles is locked behind two that are randomly generated, so you don't have the ability to look them up online because it randomly generates them, and then you have like 30 seconds to solve both of them. So you have to actually be a little good at puzzles to get through this game all the way to the end. I was worried at first I wasn't going to be able to get this because it took. I spent like 20 minutes on those last puzzles, but I could never solve them in time. I eventually got it, thankfully, because I got an easy one. But this game is really weird with the way it has you do its puzzles and the way you does its world. So I would say if you're willing to do a guide, I would play through this. Otherwise, probably a skip from me. There's just better puzzle games out there that demand less from you and have more fun puzzles, honestly. So Twitch doesn't count here. Twitch. It has some like Xbox achievements in air quotes that aren't worth anything. So we're just gonna skip Twitch. But Destiny 2 is the last one on our first page. Destiny 2 was a game. Actually, both Destinies were games I was really excited for to come out, but when I played them and tried them, I didn't enjoy it at all. It just wasn't what I wanted it to be. realistically because I just wanted it to be Halo, and it wasn't. It was what it is, a grind and a multiplayer experience that I wasn't there for. I did play a little bit of Destiny 2, as you can see here. I was a warlock. I did like the main story, but that's about it. I essentially played all of the Destiny 2 I played during like one really shitty weekend I was having. Um, and then I never touched it again. So, Destiny 2 is not a game I will be going back to. It's not the kind of game for me. If you're into it, then kudos to you. And if you're good at it, kudos to you. But Destiny 2 and me never really struck a chord, so I have to move on from Destiny. I'm sorry. I have other games to play. Alright, and I think that's. Alright, yeah, I think that's our first page. So I'm going to take a break here, stop, and maybe come back later. Alright, so we were supposed to be moving on to the fourth page from the fifth page, but unfortunately, since I took my break, I actually did play another game, and that game got pushed to the fifth page, so now we have to do one more game on the fifth page. And that game is Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. So, Metal Gear Solid 5 was a game I played, and I really wanted to go into it with an open mind and give it my best shot, especially because it's my friend AK's favorite game. So I really wanted to, enjoy it, see what it was all about. Um, but I played the prologue, and then I hated it. I didn't like the stealth at all. I thought the controls were really wonky. I didn't like the AI behavior. Just everything about it was like not great to me. Like I know to some people like him, it's like one of the best games ever, and Kojima's a god. But I do not like it. I did not enjoy it. Uh, and though I didn't play much of it, I probably won't be giving Metal Gear Solid another try. It's not my kind of game at all. Like stealth games in general are like I did enjoy Tom Clancy games, but Metal Gear Solid, something about it just didn't click with me. So I probably won't be returning. I got my 2 achievements and I'm out. If it's your thing, good for you. You can get farther than 5%, but nah, I can't. All right, finally on actually page 4. Good for us. We're actually making progress. We have a game that I have played a lot of and multiple of its versions, which I'm sure everyone else has as well, which is Minecraft. So this is very specifically the Xbox One edition. You'll see the other edition, the like general cross-platform one, is also on my list a little later, but this is specifically just the one they made for Xbox. So I have quite a few hours in it, not as many others, I presume, but this is one of the Minecrafts I played. This Minecraft specifically was one I think I got on like a disc for Christmas, which I know is so old school, but that's fine. I got it like on a disc for Christmas, and then I didn't have any friends, so I played it alone for a long time and just grinded out a ton of achievements by myself. Eventually, I got some friends, like some IRL friends, to come over and play it, but like most of this was me just working on all of this alone for hours and hours and hours. So, if you don't know Minecraft achievements, they range from very easy to a very big grind. You can see I have a lot of like easy ones here, like turn wheat into bread, cook and eat a pork chop. These are all very basic things. The fact that like most people don't have them is insane. Um, but yeah, a lot of the Minecraft achievements are just easy, checking things off lists. Content updates, this isn't DLC, it's all free updates, so the only really things I didn't do here is like a lot of the battle online games, like look, I take 100 damage in a round of public battle minigame. I never played public games on this account. Um, I never got to the Wither, actually made a beacon because I was playing alone. Sorry, ignore that. um, and then by the time I got to all this other stuff, like respawn the Ender Dragon, going to the underwater temple, doing all the snow stuff, I stopped playing on this version and I moved to the other version. So, as far as easiness for getting achievements, I would say we're pretty much still in the easy zone here, especially if you have friends. Um, so I would say probably play Minecraft. It's a good game. If you haven't played it, then you're missing out for sure. But like, play it with friends, both for your own sanity and for the achievements. Way more worth it with other people. Alright, next game here we have Bioshock Infinite, the Complete Edition. I think I had this because I was borrowing my stepdad's like Bioshock collection, and I just played Bioshock Infinite off there. This is my second playthrough of Bioshock. My first was on PC, so I really just kind of ran through it and did all of the basics. So you can see here like uh, this is what is it? Story achievements, complete Comstock House, complete Emporia. I cannot stop clicking on the achievements today. I'm so sorry. Uh, Main campaign, all telescopes and kinetoscopes. This is all collectibles, all Voxophone collectibles. The campaign on medium or above. I did medium because I'm basic. Yeah, and then I started Burial at Sea. I didn't actually get to finish Burial at Sea, which is pretty sad because this was in the realm that I lost my save data. Not like with the other account. The save data loss I mentioned for Superhot. So I didn't get to complete everything, and I had to stop at like 58%. I would have definitely gone more, but I lost my save data, and I don't really feel like playing this game again right now. So, um, but I'd say this game is pretty medium as far as achievement difficulties. Like some of these, like killed 5 enemies on a headshot while riding a skyline. It's the sort of thing, if you know what they are ahead of time, you'll be fine. Just make sure you kind of read them all before you go into it. Like perform all 8 vigor combinations. Super easy. I just didn't read the achievements. I just wanted to experience the game again. So either way, though, if you haven't actually experienced Bioshock Infinite, it's really good. Um, it is really racist and really like religiously charged, if that's the right word. So if those things bother you, it might be a little bit difficult to get through. Um, but the actual story is really solid, and it's trying to make some commentary on the racism and religiousness, so it's not like there and it supports it. It's supposed to be kind of anti that, but even then, I know some people get kind of turned off by that. But the core gameplay and the core mechanics are really strong. It's a Bioshock game, so of course it's going to be good. I haven't played the other ones, but just from playing Infinite, I'm really a fan of the series, and I really like the way it plays. So I plan to play the first one soon, I promise. But if you haven't played Infinite, it's worth it. Just make sure you read the achievements ahead of time so you know what to do. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. So Syndicate, despite being one of the new games, is actually one of the good games. So I got Syndicate for free from Xbox Gold, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't remember as much of the story as I do like the early games. Probably also because I replayed the early games so much more. But our two protagonists here, it's like Evie and Jacob Fyreii. Yeah, I think that's it. They're both really compelling. I both like them both as protagonists. As far as the actual like things you do in this game, it's all stock standard Assassin's Creed stuff. So like complete the memory sequences, do your finishers, do all the different types of kills, complete the stuff around the Ubisoft world. You know how it is. The only things in base game I didn't get is just grinding up things. Like kick 50 enemies off trains. You're on like maybe 3 trains throughout the main game. So actually doing this is such a grind. I'm kudos to anyone who did it. Kill 5 enemies from the same haystack. I got up to 3, but I could never get like 5 in the same area. Reach 100% sync. The optional objectives are so ass, so I never did it. And then, as before, everything else I don't have is DLC. So, big shock. But like, to get in the 80s in completion percentage, I'd say it's pretty easy, just as long as you're willing to check things off lists as you do in Ubisoft. And as far as Assassin's Creed goes, this is probably one of the better newer ones, like I said. So, if you like Assassin's Creed and you don't mind the Ubisoft, go here, collect this, kill this person, run back format, you'll be fine and you'll enjoy it. So, good stuff. Next, we have Fallout Shelter. So, Fallout Shelter is a game that I only logged into Xbox to play very, very briefly just to get the achievements I knew were really, really easy and really fast. So you can see I only have 6 hours here, and I got like, what is this, 50? Does it say how much Gamerscore I have? Yeah. I got 230 Gamerscore from it really fast because I knew these ones wouldn't take very long. Everything else down here is a huge grind to get, so I didn't want to bother. I've played a lot of this game actually on PC. Again, a story we've heard many times. And if you do play Fallout Shelter, I would recommend playing it on PC, specifically because a lot of these grindy achievements down here require like waiting for things. Like build 50 rooms, so you just need the money for it. But like leveling up vault dwellers, building, getting all these legendary weapons, legendary outfits, it's all about like sending your people out to get things and then waiting real time for them to return. Because originally this was a mobile game, and on Xbox that takes forever. But on PC, what you can specifically do if you log out of the game and then change the time on your computer to like 10 hours in the future, the game will think 10 hours have passed and then it'll get you your stuff instantly. So that's what I did on PC. I did a ton of like time traveling essentially to get all my stuff done, and I basically completed this game. And it was a lot more fun because the base idea of like building and collecting things and going and clearing out places in the wasteland with your little side-scrolly characters, that is pretty fun. The only part of this that sucks is the waiting. And if you play it on PC, you can really easily get around the waiting part. So I think you could probably do the same thing on Xbox, but it takes longer because Xbox load times are ass. So, good game, play it on PC. If you're going to play it on Xbox, get like the first 230 Gs and then tap out like I did. Okay, next up we have Far Cry 5. So, I don't get a lot of AAA games like when they come out, but Far Cry 5 is one of the few games I got actually about the time of its release, so I was with the cool kids, as they say. But Far Cry 5 is just another Far Cry game. You're in a weird place with weird people, and you have lots of guns, and you blow shit up, and you try to make your weird place a little less weird. So, Far Cry 5 is all religious, American religious Christianity themed. So it's a bunch of white people trying to impose their religion on this like valley, basically. So, it's pretty stock standard as far as games go, honestly. Like, the religious creepiness isn't as weird as the other Far Cry games, and the gun combat is pretty basic as far as games go. Like, nothing really stood out about the basic story for me, or the basic, like, gunplay or gameplay mechanics, anything like that. The best part of this game, by far, unfortunately, isn't even featured in this little banner here, is the companions. And for the most part, the human companions are like, alright, whatever, they're pretty standard. But this game has 3 animal companions who are the best companions of all time. We have Boomer, the dog, who's a cute little mutt puppy. Peaches, the mountain lion, which, like, oh my god, you get a mountain lion companion. And then finally, fucking Cheeseburger, the bear. Oh my god. I bought this game for, to play a Far Cry game, in air quotes. I really just bought it for the animals. So, 50% completion. I played through the main story, I met all my animal friends, and then I left. So, as far as what I didn't get and its difficulty, obviously DLC. Other stuff, it's just like, kind of, again, things that you grind over time, as you see in Ubisoft games. Sell 20 fish for cash, drop a bomb in a plane and disable 4 vehicles at once, 10 planes while driving aerial vehicle. Yeah. So if I put more time into this, I could have gotten for a lot of these, besides the arcade ones, because fuck arcade and fuck multiplayer. But, I give this game a recommendation because the story's a little crazy, but not too crazy, and the animal companions are really cute. Otherwise, it's like, it's an okay game overall. Okay Far Cry game. I had a good time with it, but, hopefully you would too. Next up, we have Disney Epic Mickey 2: The Power of Two. This is another one that I got for Xbox Gold for free. And I played the original Epic Mickey on the Wii back in the day. And when the sequel came out, I wasn't interested because it looked like it dropped a lot of like the story and the dark grittiness that made the original so good in favor of having it just be like a sequel for the sake of the sequel. And then I played it because I got it for free, and I was 100% correct. It was basically just a sequel for the sake of the sequel. So, yeah. If you somewhat enjoyed the original, you'll probably enjoy this one because it's all the same mechanics. I just found the world a lot less interesting the second time through, and they don't think they were as creative with all the stuff, honestly. So, yeah, a lot of what I did, like all these collectible costumes, all these collectible pins, it's stuff I would have done in the original, but I didn't find the world engaging this time. So I really just like sped ran through the main story and then dropped it. And partially as a result, I don't remember much of this game except for the fact that it was like a worse version of the original. So if you like it, I don't think it's too difficult because it is just like a 3D platformer, so it's not that hard to find all the collectibles and get around the world. It just wasn't compelling to me, and it was such a letdown from the first one that I couldn't bring myself to get past the 50% of the main stuff you do for the main story. So, eh, you know, if it's your thing, it's your thing. I'm gonna say that a lot. Like, I acknowledge I have weird taste in games, so and I acknowledge that I tap out a little early sometimes. But, we're all different people. Everyone has their own preferences. Next, we have Minecraft Story Mode, a Telltale Games series. Minecraft Story Mode is obviously another Telltale game, and it's just one of those Telltale games. Usually, Telltale games come in 5 parts. Minecraft Story Mode had a ton of parts. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. It's an 8-part Telltale game, but I think all of them came free with Xbox Gold. So I was like, sure, yeah. So I played through the whole thing. It's pretty like average. Like as I know that Minecraft the game is actually all about being creative, but the actual stories you see here are pretty much just using the Minecraft elements in the most basic way possible. Like the most creative the plot they have going here is I don't even remember one of these. I think it's this one, A Portal to Mystery or Access Denied. It's basically the one where you no, it's not Access Denied. It's fucking Portal to Mystery, where you go into like this sky world. But like even the entire concept of the sky world, they stole from their community. So it's really basic storytelling, really basic ass characters. They're all white and typical hero characters that you would see a stock dozen times. So story wise, mechanics wise, it's all very basic. This mechanics are all very telltale. But it's easy gamer score. I 100% at it. You can too. 1,375. Not a very nice round number, but if you're getting gamer score for the sake of getting gamer score, this is a good game for that. So, next up we have Overcooked. Overcooked is a game that I have some feelings about. So I'm gonna warn you right up and straight up the bat. The very first achievement you earn in Overcooked is for the story is basically unmissable. So deliver a recipe to the great and terrifying Everpeckish. And it is worth one single gamer score. So if you are the kind of person who cares at all about nice even numbers for your gamer score, like 5s and 0s, do not start this game unless you are ready to 100% it. Because if you look down here, the only way to complete your round off number is to get this 199 achievement, be awarded 3 stars in every kitchen. So I went into this game not knowing about this achievement, and then I got it and I was like, oh fuck, I guess I have to play the whole game, right? So I started making my way through the game with my boyfriend, and we originally were gonna complete it, but like we kind of had fights over this game. So eventually, after however many worlds this is, we just kind of looked at each other and acknowledged that it was probably best to stop playing it. So we threw in the towel with this game, and I had to resolve myself to my gamer score ending in a 1 because we weren't going to go back and we weren't going to 3-star this game. So yeah, make sure you know ahead of time what you're getting into with Overcooked, especially because like now I've played a lot of Overcooked too, so I'm probably good enough and like level-headed enough to be able to get through it with him or someone else. But but it's an old game. I don't really want to, and I would probably play through it with my best friend right now, which is AK. But like, this is couch co-op only, so even if I wanted to, I really couldn't. So, yeah, just know what you're getting into with Overcooked. It is um, a lot of screaming, pretty loud time. Most of these achievements are pretty much things you get as you go along. Like, these are all world-based achievements. Complete the world and you're done. You just have to commit to the game once you get into it if you care at all about a nice gamer score, or else you're left high and dry like me at 231. So, yeah, that's Overcooked. Not a big fan of it. The sequel is much better, in my opinion. Okay, next up we have LEGO Star Wars 3 The Clone Wars. We really are just making our way through piles of games that I got for free from Xbox Gold, because this is another free one. I played some of the LEGO Star Wars when I was a kid. I don't even remember which ones. So I saw that this one was free on Gold, so I was like, yeah, sure, I'm willing to give it a shot. Um, this game was clunky and weird, and a lot of the missions were like weird combat missions with like destroying barriers and with like these special weaponry things that like never respawn and just running through battlefields. It was not a well-paced puzzle game like some of the other Clone Wars games are. It was just a mess. So when I realized it was a mess, I was disappointed, but I just kind of went through it for the gamer score, and you can see this is all just main story stuff I really checked off once again, but it isn't a great game. It isn't the best LEGO Star Wars game. If you're gonna play a LEGO Star Wars game, play something else. I don't know which one is the best one. I don't remember which ones I have and haven't played, but I would say skip this one specifically. LEGO Star Wars 3. Not worth it. Other games got better gamer score and better gameplay overall. So, next up we have Race the Sun. Big shock. Another game that I got for free from Xbox Gold. So, this is just an endless runner. Basically, that means you're always moving forward and you have to like tilt your controller or like your controller sticks to dodge obstacles and see how far you can get. So, I was decent at it. I think probably one of the better players among our actual close friends. But even so, I couldn't complete this game like 100% for achievements. I did all the level stuff, because I think 25 was max level. And I got to 1 million, so that's pretty cool. But later stuff, like 5 million points, 10 million points, I could never get there. Cloud touching, you really just had to get the right power upgrades at the right time. Very specifically, you needed 2 jumps and you needed to time your jumps perfectly. I could always get 2 jumps enough for 1 cloud touch, but not for 2 cloud touches. So, and then Apocalypse Mode was terrible. Triss in air. Again, this is all about getting the jump thing. It's all about spawning that stupid jump power up. And I could never get it to spawn when I needed to. So. And look, neither could all of these people. Look at this. 210 tracked gamers for this one. 63 tracked gamers for this achievement. Are you kidding me? That's so low. So, yeah. This game is fun up until a point. And then once you reach your best, like the best you know you can do, it's good to just kind of hop off this train. So, that's exactly what I did. I got to level 25. I got to, I think my high score is like 2 million, somewhere around there. And then I yeeted out. So, this is exactly what I recommend you do if you play this game. Do the best you can do, and then get out of there. So, 50% should come pretty naturally. Anything past that, you are much more impressive or much more dedicated than I am. Next game on this is Life is Strange. Life is Strange, I beat on PC and I beat on here. I think I bought it with some like of the Microsoft points that I got, and when it was on sale for like $5. So, Life is Strange is similar to Telltale games, where it's just like all of the achievements you're gonna get through are just going through the main story, and then also a few collectibles. So, however, I do actually like Life is Strange a lot. I think it's a little bit like cliche teenager-ish, if that makes sense. Like, there's definitely some dialogue and some lines. It's like, you have not spoken to a real teenager in a while, have you? But besides that, the actual story, I think, is pretty good. It's really compelling. And I know the ending for Polarized right here. I know it was really divisive among the community, but my personal take is I think it made a lot of sense because the whole point of the story is the fact that in real life you don't get any do-overs, and your main character Max has to deal with the consequences of her leaving all of her friends behind and moving to California or Seattle, somewhere like that, and moving away from her hometown and choosing not to contact them. Because in real life, when you hurt people like that, you don't get to magically undo it. You have to deal with those consequences. And that's exactly what your ending is. You deal with that consequence in choice one, or you push forward with the future you created at the cost of others' lives. Either way, you don't get do-overs. You have to deal with the fallout of your own actions. So, personally, it really stuck for me, but I know a lot of people didn't like that, especially with the kill your gays thing. So, the kill your gays thing was sad, but I don't think it was the point of the story, so I'm okay with it. Either way, somewhat spoilers, but Life is Strange is a good game and pretty easy for the 100% completion. So, if you like time travel and interpersonal relationships and consequences of your own actions, this is a good story for you. Next, here we have Unravel. Unravel is another game I think I got for by using those like Microsoft Xbox points that you get for doing all the little challenges. And it was a really cute game. It's just a puzzle game where you play as this little string dude and then you use your string to like navigate around the world. So pretty much all of these are either collectibles or just moving through the levels. Like it's all very straightforward stuff for achievements. I think the only things I didn't get are finish each level start to finish without dying. I got close on a few levels, but like some levels it's so difficult. It's so dangerous. So I'm not like a deathless kind of person. I'm not a perfect gamer, so I couldn't do this. And then make it through the mine in one go without swatting any mosquitoes. Yeah, fuck those mosquitoes. So, but getting most of the achievements on this game is pretty easy, and it is a really cute puzzle platformer. So definitely a recommend if you like those cutesy puzzle platformer games. And just Gamerscore, because it's not that hard to get all the base ones. Not hard at all. Next game we have here is Prison Architect. This is another one that was free for Xbox. I'll go over this very briefly. Tried it, didn't like it. I thought it was going to be more management sim-ish, but like something about the way they kind of laid out this game just didn't click for me, and I didn't have fun with it. It was like a weird construction simmy in a way that I didn't really like. I was hoping it would be more management, you know? And it is both, but like it was more construction than management. I didn't feel like playing construction at this time, so played my 1 hour, got my one achievement, and I just left. So probably won't be coming back. Wasn't really the game for me. But based on some of these completion percentage, I would say probably don't do it for achievements. It looks like it's a big grind. So yeah, I'd say skip this one. Personally. Next game here, we have Never Alone. Never Alone is another game that I got for free from Xbox Gold. You can see I was really just collecting games from Gold here and then going back and clearing them all out. This is a really nice game that talks about, I think, the Inuit people? Something like that. And it follows this little girl on her journey to kind of like restore her village and stop the elements from like destroying her people. So it's a very cute game, and I think pretty much all of the achievements are just for kind of like a few collectibles, mostly stories, and then also just like reading all of the like viewing all the cultural insights, which is really easy. It's just like movies about the culture, so it's really nice. It's actually kind of an enlightening game too. And I did 100% the base game, if I remember. Yes, I did 100% the base game, so that's nice for Gamerscore. Everything else here for these foxtails, this is this DLC that I didn't have. So, but you can look at these completion percentages. You see it's really easy. So, if you want to get this game for Gamerscore, I would say definitely do it. And it's a pretty decent game along the way. So, yeah, not too long either. Only like 4 hours if you add the foxtails. Not bad at all. Next game we have Clicker Heroes. Clicker Heroes is a free AFK arena type game that is on Xbox. Um, I know it says I have 42 hours, but I'm pretty sure it's just me leaving my Xbox on overnight a few nights to get some of these, which was 100% unnecessary. I did not realize because it's literally an AFK game. You can turn off your Xbox and it still works for you. So, the later achievements in this game are a big grind, as are all of these clicker games, but I really just went on and got it to get these early ones. Like level 10, 50 hero upgrades, all of these, 10,000 monsters, easy. Easy. They'll probably take you, honestly, maybe like 3 hours at max. I played it longer than I needed to. Sorry. I played it a lot longer than I needed to because I thought I could get some of these other ones, like find a relic. I couldn't just because of spawns, but if you get this game, it's a pretty meh clicker game, so just get it for the first like 200 gamer score and then peace out. Anything past that is not worth it. Next, we have Celeste. Celeste is a game you see I have 97% in. I completed this on PC, and the only thing I didn't get here is completing Pico, which is like a sub game within the game that I just didn't feel like playing this time around because it's kind of a pain. But Celeste is a really good game. It's a platformer that's also a look into like mental illness and struggling to overcome personal obstacles. And to kind of complement that, it is a difficult platformer. It is pretty difficult at times, but not ever too overwhelmingly difficult. Like, I'm not a big fan of really hard games, and like, even then, I managed to get through this game. So, if you're gonna play Celeste, I would say play it through the first time and play through the story completely normally. Just like go through the story, do as many challenges, as many things as you think you can do, get to the top of the mountain, breathe a sigh of relief, feel your feelings of accomplishment, and then do yourself a favor, turn on assist mode, and then get all of this other stuff, like the C sides, the 1-up, the B sides. Like, all of this stuff is insanely hard if you were trying to do it like normally, but if you use the assist mode abilities, super easy to get it, super easy gamer score. So, but I do recommend play the game naturally first, all the way. Struggle, overcome the old-fashioned way. Then, once you reach the top of the mountain, go back, clean up gamer score, and it should be a pretty easy 100%. I just didn't feel like doing that last 3%, but you easily can. Next up, we have Unravel 2. I got this in a bundle with the other Unravel, but I waited to play it a little bit because I wanted to play it with my boyfriend, Zach, because it's a co-op game. You can see here, we have 2 little people instead of 1. Woohoo! So, unlike the first game, the first Unraveled was very, very, very like easy. Like, you saw the gamer score, it was basically all the achievements were just going through the levels. This game, it has the level achievements, which is exactly what I have here, and then it has a ton that are super hard. So complete this in one go without dying. Complete it in one go without dying. And by the way, in one go, it means like the very first time you turn on that level. Like, bruh. No redos, you just gotta turn it on, you gotta do it, and you gotta be done. So you basically have to play the whole game without dying, and then at every step of the way, it gives you the achievements. And then same thing with like the gold medals, it's all about like not dying and getting it in the perfect amount of time. Like, it sounds easy, but like you have to be like frame perfect at some of your platforming here to get all of these, which is why they have get rates like 164. That's so low. So if you're gonna get this game, don't do it for Gamerscore. Do it so you can have like a cute few afternoons with your significant other or with your friends to play the game. Because the Gamerscore is atrocious, but the game itself is pretty cute. So, next up we have Battlefield 1. Please open. Thank you. Battlefield 1 is another game that I got from Xbox Gold, and I played through it with my friend, who is a big Battlefield fiend, so we had a lot of fun. The campaign is whatever. I do not care or remember the campaign at all, but The online multiplayer is a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun just messing around on those maps, and it's it's a multiplayer shooter. It's exactly what you would expect. You run around. Some people are in fucking tanks. Some people are in planes. Some people are sniping. You're doing whatever. Everyone's doing their own thing. Yeah, I had a good time with it. Um, it's not the best for Gamerscore because all first-person shooters are they they have achievements that are like environmental or grindy that I couldn't really get behind. But in the time we did play it, 27 hours, all of that online play was fun. I have a lot of really fond memories of playing this game with my friend. So, if the online is still up, I would say play this game. If not, probably pass. Just go to the newest Battlefield and go play with those people. Because the online is good and fun, but the rest of it's kind of whatever. Next up, we have Thomas Was Alone. And if you look here, looking ahead, we have a nice green stack of completions right here. So this is going to be kind of nice. Thomas Was Alone was one of the very first games I played when I think I got Xbox Game Pass. Thomas Was Alone is no longer on Game Pass, but when it was, great game. So, Thomas Was Alone is a very, very simple, minimalistic platformer. Like, literally all of your characters are these little, like, squares and rectangles with personalities. But despite being really simple, it's not just a Gamerscore game. It is actually, like, has a cute little story about, like, reaching for more and breaking past the limits of who you are as a person and working together to achieve your goals. So it's really nice. And on top of that, very easy completion. You can see all of these are just about kind of completing the story. So, and just finding the collectibles. So, you can complete a story and get collectibles. You can 100% it. Plus, it's a good game to boot. So, big recommend from Thomas Was Alone. Next up, we have Life is Strange Before the Storm. Before the Storm is the prequel to the other Life is Strange game we saw, which follows like events that essentially set up where you are now and what happened with this one character, Rachel Amber, who was always mentioned in the last game, but we never really met. So this is all about like actually meeting her and learning her story with Chloe. So yeah, this is pretty good. I think they nailed the characters a lot more in this game than they did the last game, as well as like the final choice at the end and all of the like consequences of your actions and stuff like that. So from what I've talked to people, I've heard a lot more people like Before the Storm than they do the other Life is Strange. So it's not the best. I still say Life is Strange 2 is the best, but like after their first game, they just got better and better with games, clearly. So like the other one, it's pretty easy gamer score too, just as long as you can kind of follow guides. And it has this dope achievement art. You can kind of see it here on the sides. This is like my favorite achievement art ever. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So, I would recommend playing this game like before if you like mysteries and you like characters and you like consequences based on your actions. And if you like gamerscore, this is a good game for you. Next up, another 100%, The Gardens Between. Again, making my way through Games Pass games. Forgot to mention, Life is Strange Before the Storm is on Games Pass. This was also on Games Pass. So, The Gardens Between is just a puzzle game where you like kind of navigate around these rotating levels, solving puzzles and getting to the end. All of these achievements are... yeah, these are all story-based, with like just a little bit of puzzle, but they're really basic puzzles. Like if you look at this achievement distribution, pretty much everybody gets to the end with all completion. So get it for the gamer score, or get it because it looks pretty. Like the puzzles and the story is kind of meh, whatever. But it's easy gamer score, and again, it's looks pretty. So that's really all there is to it. Next up, another completion, Late Shift. Late Shift was also on Games Pass, but they took it off, which is sad because I wanted to replay it, but alas. Late Shift is an FMV, which is a full motion video game, I believe. That's what it stands for. Anyways, the whole idea behind FMVs is it's actual filmed footage of people doing things, like a movie, but you make choices with your Xbox controller, and then they go do those things. So, It's half like watching a movie, half like making decisions. So the 100% completion is pretty easy with a guide. You just have to know what choices to make. Um, but like besides that, there's nothing difficult about this. It's just pressing buttons on your controller and then watching a movie. So that's FMVs for you. But I liked it. I think it was still pretty entertaining. So you'll probably have a decent time with this game if you get it. Just probably don't buy it at full price. Get it at a discount. Next game on here. Sorry, we're moving out of the 100%, but we get into Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. If you don't know, Ori and the Blind Forest and just the Ori games in general are some of the strongest platformers like ever made. They're Metroidvania specifically, but they're like very, very approachable Metroidvanias, and they're so good. The game is just so clean, and they have such good abilities, and it's so beautiful, and it's so well made. If you haven't played Ori and the Blind Forest, please do. It's so good. Um, it's just such a clean platformer that plays so good, and the bash ability is so fantastic. Um, Gamerscore wise, it's all just about using your abilities well and completing the game. Like again, this is story stuff. This is easy ability stuff. Easy ability stuff. They do have a few hard achievements that, if you really dedicated, you can get, but I'm not quite that good. Like finish the game under 3 hours without dying, without an ability point, on hard and on one life. If you're really skilled, you can get those. I'm not quite that skilled, but even an unskilled person like me, you can get to 90% gamer score really easily. So I fully recommend this game. It is so good. If you haven't played it, please do. Next game here, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. A very big and very famous game, obviously. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a very, very, very big grind that can give you depression if you're not careful because it's so sad and so retrospective. So, it is a very good game with probably the most believable characters and voice acting you'll find in video games like to date. Um, but it's a really big game and a really big grind. And me and my friend always said if you play too much of this game, you start turning into a cowboy, which is kind of exactly what happens. You start developing cowboy depression. So it's worth playing for sure, and just to meet the characters and experience the world. But don't play too much of it; it might fuck you up. Um. Oh, and make sure you know about the honor story missions ahead of time. I realized I missed an honor story mission like way too late because you see they're all chapter locked. So I thought I was gonna go for all of these, but then I didn't get one in a chapter I missed, and then I got sad and I got locked out of it with one honor mission to go. I actually got surprisingly close to 100% completion. Damn. Um, but yeah, play as much of this game as you can stand and then stop. Don't push yourself too hard. And then you'll probably enjoy it. Most people tend to enjoy Red Dead. Just know your limits. That's all I'm gonna say. Know your limits. Next, we have Dishonored 2. I played the first Dishonored on PC, and I played this one here, obviously on Xbox, because it was through Games Pass. Again, all of these are still through Games Pass. I was just making my way through the Games Pass games at this point. So, Dishonored 2 is simultaneously better and worse than the first one at the same time. I would say the first one had cleaner feeling, like, mechanics and, like, actual, like, abilities that you use. Like, I think Corvo's blink was a lot cleaner than Emily's blink pull thing, whatever it's called. But the second game is way prettier than the first game. The first game is very bleak and like rat infested and oh, everything is terrible. But like in this game we're in Karnaka, which is like their coastal city, and it's way prettier. So but they're both really good stealth games, probably some of the best stealth games I've played. And I think I have one achievement here that's probably the most proud of. Let me see here. I don't know if I have it. I don't even know where it is. There's achievements here for playing the whole game without being spotted. I think I have it. I don't have the clean hand one because it got glitched for me, but let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. Shadow. Finish the game without being spotted. This was so fun, actually. Like, it was getting this achievement, and especially the clean hands one too, takes a ton of quick saving, quick reloading. So you have to be willing to like abuse that system. But also getting this achievement, such a good feeling. And it's such a good stealth game. I love Dishonored. It's such a good series. If you've never played the Dishonored before, start with the first one and then play this one. But they're both fantastic games. I fully recommend. Um, I don't think either of them are completely better than the other. They both have their strengths and weaknesses, like I was kind of saying earlier. But they're really fun. Most of the gamer score is pretty easy. It's just like you messing around with your abilities or being good at stealth. And stealth is not as hard to be good at as it is like shooting and stuff like that, or completing a whole game without dying, you know. So, yeah. Clean hands, I got robbed of this achievement, but whatever. Either way, good game. It will require 2 playthroughs because you get the option to play as either Corvo or Emily. I chose Emily, but you have to do an Emily run through and a Corvo run through to get everything. But for a game like this, it's totally worth it. I love the Dishonored games. If you haven't played them, you should. Next, we have Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2. This is a game that came free with Xbox Gold, and I played it with my friends for a little bit. So, I think we mostly just kind of like ran through the main story and then did a teeny tiny bit of online, and that's about it. So, most of what we didn't do, if I remember correctly, is just, yeah, 5,000 zombies, 5,000 plants. It's just a ton of grind we did not want to do. Complete an ops game on crazy difficulty. Yeah, no thanks. And then the quests, they were all like random spawn to get them to get them, so no. Trials of Nomus, we did a little bit of. We beat the main thing with the help of one friend who was super good. But yeah, we did as much as we could when we were willing to do that kind of together as a group. If you're willing to put in the grind, you can absolutely 100% this game. But in 25 hours, you could still get 80%, and that's pretty good. So, I think it's a pretty fun game. It's nothing like the first one, because this is a 3D shooter. And I think the first one was like a tower defense. So if you like the first one, you might not like the second one. But if you like 3D shooters in general, you'll probably enjoy this game. Up next, we have more 100% completions. Adventure Time Pirates of the Enchiridion. This was a free game with Xbox Gold, and the entire thing with beating it is just grinding yourself up to a high enough level, and then you steamroll all the bosses. It's very easy. It's just a turn-based RPG, and as long as you're willing to like fight enough lower level enemies to level yourself up, every single one of these is very easy. So, it's not a great game, and like I love Adventure Time, but like this isn't a good homage to it at all. And even as far as like turn-based RPGs goes, it's okay at best. But easy completion, easy gamer score. So if you're gonna play it, do it for that. Cube 2, another 100% completion, another thing I got from Xbox Gold. This is just a puzzle game where you go through this environment and you have different abilities using cubes, and you use those abilities to beat the game. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure every single one of these is just story-based. Yeah, these, even then, this is, you do this for like one of the puzzles, so. All of these achievements are story-based. All you need to do is beat the game. The only thing to know is that you have a choice at the end. Follow the blue wire, follow the red wire. So just pick the one you don't want, quickly get the achievement, quickly reset your game before it saves, and then do the other one. Super easy, 100%. Game is okay overall. I don't think the story was that compelling, but it was okay. Next up, Apex Legends, 100%. It does not take 162 hours to 100% this game. I 100%ed it in like maybe 20, 30 hours, probably less. Because Apex Legends is a totally online game. So, how many hours it takes you to 100% it will definitely depend on your skill level and who you're playing with. But if you're decently skilled at first-person shooters, you should be able to 100% it. Because all of these are like become kill leader, fully kitted weapon, respond to teammate. One is each type of character, one is 8 characters. All of this you can get with time, as long as you're decent at shooters and willing to put in the grind. So, I was worried I wouldn't get this at first, but I got it, like I said, within 30 hours, and then I played another 130 hours because I really liked this game. But these days it might be a little bit harder to get these achievements because the servers are still online, but like everybody who's still on are all like sweats. Yeah, everybody who's still playing this game these days are really, really sweaty tryhards, so it might be a little more difficult to farm your way to wins and stuff. But if you're good enough, you can maybe still do it. So mechanically, though, it's still a really good game and a really strong shooter. So if you like shooters, you'll enjoy Apex. And our final game on our fourth page is What Remains of Edith Finch. Another game I played on Games Pass. This is a walking simulator, but probably one of the best walking simulators ever made because the story is so compelling and the mechanics are so strange and the characters are so weird and compelling. Again, it's so compelling. All of these achievements are just about looking through this, doing the story and playing the mini games, and with like a few collectibles. But it's all really, really basic stuff. So easy gamer score, really good story. If you play just one walking simulator in your life, play this one because it's the best of them all. So fully, fully, fully recommend. And I believe that's it for page 4. So we'll pick up again with page 3 later. Alright, hello. We're here on page 3. I'm really tired today, but I'm also distinctly aware that if I don't just continue doing this, I will tap out and run out of energy. So we gotta keep going. We can't stop now. Oh, let me go full screen. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So we have to keep going. We can't stop now. We're too invested. Next up, we're on page 3. We have Mortal Kombat X. So, I've always tried to get into fighting games, especially when I was little. I played a lot of Tekken. I think specifically like Tekken 4, and I enjoyed that. But like since then, I've tried to play a lot of different fighting games, and I just have discovered that me as a person, I don't like fighting games like at all. So I played a little bit of Mortal Kombat X to like give it a shot and like play against my friend a little bit and see who was better. This is my friend right here. He was better. I sucked. We got some easy achievements like putting on a new icon, jumping 30 times in one match, like the easiest shit, but like anything past that, I did not do because I hate fighting games and I wasn't going to play it for more than one afternoon. So that's what I did. I played it for one afternoon and then I stopped. At 18% achievement gamer score at 105 Gs. So that's pretty sad. But I think if you work achievement hunting in this game, it'd be pretty difficult anyways. Like complete 50 living towers. These are all grinds, and a lot of these grinds are against like real people who are good at the game. So fighting game people take their lives very seriously, and they're very good at a game I'm very terrible at. So I probably would say skip this game for Gamerscore, and skip this game for fighting games. I like other fighting games more. Like I said, I like Tekken more. I like Skullgirls more. I've never really connected to Mortal Kombat, but you know, to each their own. To each their own. Next up over here, we have Wargroove. Wargroove is a game I was really excited to come out. It's a turn-based strategy RPG, and it was like really cute, and it was like all these factions and this big journey throughout this cool world, and I was really excited to play it. But then I realized that I just don't like strategy games. This is the period of me discovering and playing all these games and starting to learn my preference for games, really. Because I grew up playing mostly like two kinds of games. I grew up playing FPS games, and I grew up playing like Ubisoft open world third person exploration games, right? So this was me trying other games for the first time and realizing what I do and don't like. So yeah, first person strategy is one of the ones I don't like. So I played a decent bit of it. I got through Act 2, which is... It doesn't say my hour count here, but I probably played like 10 or 12 hours of this game, so I give it a decent shot. But then I realized that I just don't like these type of games. So I wish I did. I genuinely do wish I was the person who was good at strategy games and could play it all the way through. But I'm not, So I probably won't go back to Wargroove, but if you like strategy games, I would say it's good. It's a really cute turn-based game with really good characters, and I'd love to know how it ends. I think one day maybe I'll watch like a playthrough of it on YouTube, but I couldn't do it. It couldn't be me. So next up we have Tacoma. Tacoma is a game I think I've played and beat this game twice, just twice. It feels like it's been more. But I beat this game, I want to say 3 times, 2 or 3 times, something like that. Tacoma is another walking simulator, although funnily enough, this one's kind of like a floating simulator because you're in a space station and you, like, 0 Gs. Ha ha ha. Anyways, yeah, this is a walking simulator where you explore the space station and then you try to find out what happens at the space station and to the crew so that they had to abandon their mission and abandon their post. So it's a really good story, and I think it's probably one of Fulbright Entertainment's best as far as walking simulators go, because they're also the people who made Gone Home. But I think this is a far superior game, in my opinion. And all the achievements are pretty easy. Some of them are just like story stuff, obviously. This escaped the lunar transfer station, having recovered every AR crew record and AR desktop item. This is like that other one that I mentioned I didn't like before, but this one's good because it wants you to actually just read all of their content, and they're not on a time limit, so that's nice. And like, see, same here. Read all the Venturis incoming messages. They just want you to experience their game and see what's going on. And there's some cute ones too, like this is Casket Ball. They want you to score a goal with this skull. Skeletina, give Tina back her hat. You just put the hat on the skull. Like, there's some really cute achievements in here. So this is the kind of game for easy achievements that I think is ideal. Achievements for experiencing the whole game and everything it has to offer, and cute achievements you can get along the way. So this is my ideal kind of walking simulator. Good job, Fulbright. I fully recommend if you like story-based walking sims or if you like achievements, because that's an easy 100%. Next up, we have Abzu. Also, I didn't even mention, we have a stack of 100% completions here, so that's amazing. But Abzu is up next. Abzu is a really pretty game. I think it won my personal Fire Award for, like, best like visual design back in the year I played it. So, really, 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 really pretty game. Sorry, hold on, I'm adjusting my mic. Okay. Really, really pretty game. Yeah, and pretty much all of the achievements in this game are just about progressing through the story and then collecting all the collectibles. Like shells, those are collectibles. All of these secrets are just story-based. Meditation statues, again, that's collectibles. Witness meditation while meditating. The meditation feature is so cool, actually. One of the things you do in this game is you explore the ocean and restore the ocean to health. You can sit on these little meditation statues and then watch the interactions of all of the fish in the environment around you. And they can, like, eat each other or run away from predators or go, like, bottom feed. It's really cool. You can actually see, like, the living environment. And they have all the actual names of the fish, so you can, like, learn a little bit, too. So, it's a really cute, cool game. And a really cute game, too. Especially if you like oceans or animals or exploration or anything like that. So, definite recommend. And definite recommend for Gamerscore, too. Next up, we have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. So, Hellblade is a psychological horror game and also a third-person action game. So, very interesting combination there. But Hellblade is a really good game, I think, especially because everything it talks about with the Viking culture and her status due to her what's going on with her, which I won't spoil, is all based in real historical fiction. And it's a really nice exploration and blend between the way Vikings historically treated people with mental illness and a blend of her cultural and religious beliefs. So, I think it was a really, really good and intelligent game. Good exploration of these ideas, and also just a fun horror game. which is not words you will find often from my mouth because I hate horror games a lot, but this is a good one. So I hard recommend playing it. The only thing if you do is go into it with a small guide for the lore stones because the lore stones are missable. And I think you can chapter select, but like if you want to do this in one playthrough, you're gonna need to know where those lore stones are. But everything else here, you can see these are all secret because they're all story based. So as long as you play the story and know where the lore stones are, it's an easy 100%. And it's just a good game. So fully recommend. I know I'm saying that about all of these games, but these are all good. Next up is Old Man's Journey. Old Man's Journey is probably a game you're only going to want to play if you get it for free or discounted, because I think full price, it's like $20. Let me see if it says in price here. It depends on your region. Oh, it's 10 now. That's better. Full price, it's a little expensive, especially because the game itself is only like 2 hours. But it's a really cute, like, little puzzle game. So, really pretty art style, really easy, just like walking puzzle game, basically. It won't take you long at all. So, that's the main complaint people have, is that it's too short for the price. So, if you get it on discount, I would say it's worth it. I got it for free from Games Pass. I didn't mention it, but all the games I've been talking about recently were on Games Pass, and I played them for free through there. Or for my, monthly price. So, it's, like I said, cute game. Just know that you're mostly just paying for the art. So, make your own choices about how you feel about this game. I like it. I think it's pretty much worth the price. And I think it's easy gamer score. So, that's my take. Next up, more 100%. We got Rhyme. Rhyme is a big 3D puzzle game that I didn't really, connect to as much. I know a lot of people hold Rhyme in really high esteem, but I think for me it just was kind of okay. It's like a cel-shaded world and big exploration and color journey through this island on the sea basically that you end up on, and you try to find out what you're doing there and why you're there. So it's okay. It never really resonated with me. But if you're using a guide or if you just are good at exploring, you can definitely get all these achievements. So, nothing too difficult, nothing too terrible. And you can go back and replay chapters if you miss something. So that's nice and easy. But, yeah, it was okay. It wasn't really for me. I would have liked it maybe if it was half the hour count. I think I just got bored of it. But it's not bad. You'll probably like it more than I did. I'm weird. Next up, moving out of our 100% stack, unfortunately, but we have Shantae Half Genie Hero. So, Shantae Half Genie Hero was also on Games Pass, and I think it was the first Shantae game I played. They were always on my radar because of one of my favorite streamers, which is Ray Narvaez Jr. He likes them a lot, and he's played them, but I never really gave it a shot. So this is my first Shantae game. This game, very specifically, I'm going to say, it has good platforming mechanics because all Shantae games do, and that's pretty much all they are. They are platformers and Metroidvanias. The story in this one's really weak and kind of shit, in my opinion. But if you like the other Shantae games, or you like other Metroidvanias, you'll still like this one, because it's what it is. It's a Metroidvania. So, I got a lot of the achievements here for most of the collectibles, achieving 100% completion. This actually took me 6 tries because it's kind of funny, and it goes back to what I said about the story being bad. I got the bad ending 3 times in a row, and I didn't realize it wasn't the good ending because that's how poorly the story is written. So, yeah, I eventually got this, but I kept doing the ending over and over, and I was like, what do you mean I didn't do this? What do you mean it's not the good ending? I don't understand. And then I did the good ending, and it was almost exactly identical. So, really not the best story writing. But again, the actual mechanics here are fine, and the gameplay is fine. It's just the story is super weak. So, yeah. But yeah, a lot of these are just for doing all the collectibles. There's some cute ones in here though, like defeat risky boots using only the mouse bite. Uh, the mouse bite is a transformation you have as Shantae, and you do 1 damage as it. So it takes like 10 boss phases to be able to kill her in 1 bite, but like, I don't know, it's really funny and really stupid. I don't remember this one. Obtain magical relics, collectibles. This is story, reflect back attacks. Yeah, it's mostly pretty standard stuff. I think a lot of what I didn't get is similar to Ori and like what they do in other Metroidvanias, which is just all about being amazing at the game. Yeah, save the day as fast as possible. This is speedrun. Complete 100% as fast as possible. Also speedrun. And then this is DLC. So yeah, it's exactly what you'd expect. Things that speedruns and skill-based things I'm not going to do, and DLC. So I would say the 60% takes a little bit of dedication, but it's not too bad. Only like 12 hours. Anything past that, just be ready to buy DLC. But buy it for the gameplay, not for the story, and then you'll be okay. Next up, we have Bridge Constructor Portal. So Bridge Constructor Portal is a game I played a little bit of. You could see I put like an hour into it. It was on Games Pass, wasn't really into it. You could probably 100% it without too much difficulty if you're using like guides to see how to build all the bridges. But I did as far as I wanted to, like using my own skill, and then I just kind of tapped out. So it was okay. If you like puzzle games, you'll probably enjoy it, but wasn't really my thing. Next, we have The Outer Wilds. The Outer Wilds is a really good game. It won one of my achievements for like innovation. But as far as Gamerscore goes, I'm going to warn you immediately that all of achievements have weird numbers. Like these 55s are fine, but this one is 36. 36. Let's see what else. 36. Yeah, everything's 36, 55. This one's 90. What is this one? 110, 90, 90, 55. Yeah. So they have weird achievement percentage numbers. So if that matters to you, be careful. But besides that, The Outer Wilds is a really good exploration game. It's a 3D space exploring game where you navigate your ship in zero gravity and then you travel to all of these different planets and try to find out the mystery of what's happening before it's too late. And it's almost like a roguelike adventure because your progress resets, but like your progress also doesn't reset. It's a lot. It's a really pretty game though, and it's a really cool concept. I was able to beat it just barely, but I didn't 100% it. Because beating it takes, it's almost like completing a speed run. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil it, but if you like 3D exploration games and you don't mind the weird achievement percentages, you'll probably enjoy it. Just be a little bit careful with the gameplay mechanics too, because sometimes the 3D motion makes me a little sick. So if you're also someone who gets easily motion sick, maybe be careful with this game. But if you even like are remotely interested, you should definitely take a look at this game. It's a really good exploration game, really nice handcrafted galaxy you get to explore, really compelling mysteries, and the ending is like insane in like the best way. So go play Outer Wilds. Next up is Borderlands, the pre-sequel. So I played the Borderlands games in order. I don't know why the pre-sequel is so far down now, but that's fine. We'll talk about it. AK and I played through all the Borderlands games, and we were really dedicated to achievement hunting on them. And you can see I have 97%, and there's just exactly one achievement that I missed, I believe. No, there's 2. Okay. Complete all level 1 challenges with a single character. Half of the challenges are based on like random luck for things to happen, so that's a pain. I did it in Borderlands 2, but I didn't do it in here. And I would go back and do this if it weren't for this one. Kill 10 spy bugs before they take your photo. This is a very rare spawn in one specific area of the of this one DLC that we forgot to get. So because I didn't get this one, I didn't go back and get this one. But I would love to be able to have both of these, and one day, if at all possible, I might replay the pre-sequel so I can get both of these. But like, it's a 60-hour game, and I would have to play probably another 60 hours to get both of these. So I'm like, I'm not super in a rush. But the Borderlands games, like all Borderlands games, are pretty good. They're shooter looters. You shoot, you loot. It's a lot more fun with friends, especially the pre-sequel because it's a little bit empty, and the environment kind of sucks. Um, but for the most part, as long as you know what the achievements are going into them as you kind of progress through the story, they're all pretty gettable. Like, a lot of these are story-based, or they're just things you could do easily. Like I saw one here. Yeah, suffocated for 5 continuous minutes without dying. You just have to have, like, high enough health and you're fine. So, mostly pretty easy, mostly just story-based. Just, if you're going for it, know about these 2 achievements ahead of time, Challenger and No Photographs, please, and plan your playthrough around getting both of those. So, next up we have Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator is another game I played through Game Pass. And Goat Simulator is a big grind if you're going to 100% it. Especially because it says I have 29% here, but a lot of that's just because a ton of achievements are DLC linked because this game has a ton of DLC. So be ready to buy and play a lot of DLC if you're going to get it. So I think I got a lot in the base game that I could get. Like you see here, I have 790 Gs, and I'm only at 29%. So that's going to tell you something about the distribution of achievements here. So I got a lot of the achievements in the base game, which is mostly just about like exploring the world and unlocking different skins for your goat based on how you interact with the world. But a lot of them are like memes or references to stuff throughout the years. So if you are internet cultured, you'll recognize all of them. I missed a few things, like the hanging glider. I could never reach it. Visit 5 trampolines around the world in one jump. Takes more skill than I have. Flappy Goat sucks. I don't even know what this achievement is. Find all the trophies in Goatville. Yeah, some of these were difficult, and maybe I could have gotten them at the same time, but you could get a decent chunk of Gamerscore in this game pretty easily, which is exactly what I did here. But everything past that, and if you want the 100%, you're gonna have to get a lot of DLC. Like, this is one DLC. This is another DLC. This is another DLC. This is another DLC. So yeah, DLC heavy, but if you want to put forth the money, or you get them all in a bundle, that's a nice stack of Gamerscore you can get. It's like 2,300 total, which is nice. But it's, you know, it's a decent enough game, and it's a decent stack of Gamerscore if you want to put in a few hours. So, next here we have Borderlands 2. So, Borderlands 2 is by far the best Borderlands game. It has a great story, it has the best villain, it has probably like the best characters just all around. Really compelling, really good. If you're gonna play a Borderlands game, just one, play this one. There's a reason it's everybody's favorite Borderlands game. It's because it's the best. So, like the others, I achievement hunted with my friends, and this one, I actually 100%ed. So, I feel very, very proud of that. Yeah, so for the most part, all of these are pretty doable if you know what you're going and what you're doing. There's achievements for each of the main characters, so you're probably going to have to do about like 4 playthroughs, or you're going to have to get boosted for level for the 4 characters, which is what I did. I got boosted after I played through like 2 of them. So, because this one's for whatever his name is. The Gunzerker, this one's for Zero, there's one for Maya, and there's one for Axton, I believe. So, those you're going to want to know about ahead of time. You're going to have to commit to 4 playthroughs or commit to getting someone to boost for you. But besides that, everything else here is just about grinding it out. Reach level 50. Yeah, vanquish ancient dragons. That's the story of the DLC. DLC story. Complete all his side missions. Complete the side missions. Yeah, Borderlands is a lot about like completing side missions and a lot of achievements based on that. Thankfully, I always do that in video games anyway, so this was pretty easy. So yeah, just, I would say read the achievement list ahead of time, know what you're getting into, and just what you need to do. But nothing in Borderlands games is ever that difficult for achievement hunting. So, as long as you're willing to commit to playing as 4 different characters, you should be fine. But it's a good game. If you like FPS games or shooters at all, you'll definitely enjoy it. It's one of my favorite shooters for sure. Next up, we have Borderlands, the original. So, Borderlands, we also achievement hunted in. We didn't get all the way. I don't remember what we didn't do here. Let me see if it'll tell me. Oh. Yeah, this, neither of us just have this achievement, which is sad. This, we need to replay the game to grind to level 50. And maybe one day we'll do that. But... And then Moxie's Underdome is a terrible, shitty grind, doing the same thing over and over for like 3 hours. So, it's not hard, it's just annoying as fuck. So, if you really want to commit, you can do this, but like, I could never, and we just didn't want to do it. This is like a super hard boss, unless you glitch it. This is about, again, replaying the game more so you're over leveled. All missions, it's the Cromer one is what we didn't do. Also being over leveled. And then this is just about getting lucky with spawns for these things. So, anyways, that's weird. I thought I did this once. That's kind of interesting. Anyways, what we didn't do in this game was like shitty, terrible grinds, which they took out in the later games, thankfully, so you don't have to worry about it. But Borderlands was a fine introduction to the series. It's a little emptier and a little bleaker than the other games in the series. But if you like the other Borderlands, you'll like this one. So, and if you like FPSs, it'll probably be fine. But like all Borderlands games, it's more fun with friends. So play it with your friends if you're interested. And be prepared for some grind if you're 100%ing. Getting to the 80% is pretty fine, but past that, you gotta commit. Next up, we have My Time at Portia, another 100%. My Time at Portia is a very long game. You can see here, 80 to 100 hours. Very big grind. But it is a good game. If you like building simulators or farming simulators, then this is a good game for you. The whole game is basically like you move to this town and then you build things in your little workshop to be the best builder in town. And then you also go explore these ruins to get more items to become an even better builder and like kind of unlock secrets of the world, but not really. There's not much going on in the story. It's mostly just about like the crafting system. So nothing here is difficult. The biggest commitment you have here is just time. Like the reason all these get rates are so low are just because it takes so much time to get to these stages of the game. So if you're willing to put like 80 to 100 hours in this game, then you can definitely get all this gamer score and it's worth it and it's decently fun. It's just a long game. So I played it, I had fun with it because I like those like, you know, move to a small town, become a builder, build up your farm or whatever. I like those games. If you don't like it, you definitely won't be able to 100% it because you really gotta commit. So a big commitment, but a pretty fun commitment. And if you can commit, you can get that 100%. Yeah, next we have Human Fall Flat. Yeah, Human Fall Flat was a game that was available through Games Pass, and I played some of it with my friends. Human Fall Flat, the whole gimmick is that the controls are terrible and you have to deal with that. Also, wait, hold on. So Human Fall Flat was a game that I played through Games Pass, and the whole idea of it is that just the controls are terrible, and you gotta navigate through the world while dealing with that. So I played a decent bit of it. I 100% at a few levels, especially all the like early ones. But eventually I just kind of got sick of wrestling with shitty controls, and I wanted to go play a game with good controls. So it's not a terrible experience. It's fun with friends. You guys can like laugh at it together. Alone, it's mostly just frustrating. So if you're gonna play it, I would say play it with friends and then work together to get all of these achievements. So, I know there's all these title updates, but these are all free DLCs, so don't worry about it. Yeah, they just keep adding. Oh my god, they really just kept adding shit. Huh. Damn. There's a lot to this game. That's why I only have 63%. But if you really like those games with shitty controls, and you like playing with friends, you'll have a good time with it. I did as much as I could, but I think we're kind of done with this game at this point, so. Gamer score wise, it does take a little bit of like technical skill and some puzzle solving abilities, but if you really like just grind it out and also maybe look up some guides online, you should be fine. Okay, next we have Darksiders War Mastered Edition. So Darksiders is a game I played because my boyfriend really, really liked it and he wanted me to experience it. So I was like, okay, sure. Also, my god, these ads. Hold on. Yeah, so Darksiders War Mastered Edition is a game I played because my boyfriend really liked it and he wanted me to experience it. So I was like, okay. So we went into it. It's a third-person hack and slash, which I know we don't have like any hack and slashes here yet, but this is it. Where you like, I think, do I even remember it? I think you explore the world as one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse, and you try to take down whoever fucked up the apocalypse, something like that. Pretty basic, very like edgy teen, you know, but the mechanics are all fine and the combat's all fine, so it's pretty standard. Gamer score wise, I don't even know what I didn't do in this game. Let me see. Oh yeah, I just didn't get the full completion on everything. Yeah, maxed out all weapons, apocalyptic difficulty, things like that. This is half about grind, half about skill, which I've committed as much of myself to this game as I wanted to. And about as much as you need to beat it, plus a little more. So I'm gonna say the 80% unlock for this is pretty easy and pretty standard if you're gonna play through the game. But anything past that is a huge time crunch, so make sure you are ready for the commitment and you're in love with this game. So I wasn't in love with it. I had an okay time with it. I want to give it a soft recommend if you like hack and slashes or edgy, gritty demon games. Next up, we have The Walking Dead, and you can see we're getting into a stack of Walking Deads that are all 100% completion. So I'll try to do fast. The Walking Dead, the original first game, Telltale, so it's easy gamer score. All you have to do is play the story. It's probably their best Walking Dead game and one of their best games because it's just pretty scary. Not scary, pretty compelling and pretty sad watching this journey of Lee and Clementine, who are just some of the best characters they've ever written. So everything here is very easy except for one thing, I think. If this is the one with 500 days. Is this the one with 500 days, or is 2 the one with 500 days? I don't remember. One of the games has an achievement where you have to, like, win in rock, paper, scissors, like, 3 times in a row or something like that, and it's all RNG and it sucks, and I had to reload a ton for it. But besides that very specific achievement, everything else in this is easy and story-based, so if you're going to play only one Walking Dead game, play this one, and then don't do the rest, because this one's the best. Best characters by far. But it's easy achievements, easy gamer score. Next game, another Walking Dead Michonne. This one's pretty good too. Story's not great, but Michonne's just a great character, so she really carries it. Again, all the achievements are story-based. Nothing to worry about here. Maybe like the second best Walking Dead game, at least in my opinion. So, decently good. Get it for gamer score. You know the drill. Walking Dead New Frontier. This is the newest one, or it used to be the newest one. They came out with a final season that I haven't played yet. But New Frontier, not a big fan of it. I think a lot of the characters they added are terrible, except for Jesus. He's the best. But same thing as usual with these achievements. 100% if you play through the story. Nothing to worry about. Just play through it and get gamer score. Next we have Battle Block Theater. Battle Block Theater I played a little bit of. Didn't really get too far in it. I mostly just played it to mess around with the level builder a little bit, and that was fun. But all of these games have, by whatever company this is. Ooh, I don't remember. They also made Castle Crashers. Whatever that company is. They have really good, like, good humor in their games, and they're a pretty good time, especially with friends to, like, fuck around and laugh. So I didn't get far into this one, but I'm going to give it a pretty recommendation anyways. Just because I know it's a good time if I committed myself to it. I just wasn't really feeling it. Like I said, I really just picked it up to mess around with the level creator. As far as achievements, there's stuff for like completing everything, getting like a letter grade and a star, so you gotta be good and fast. But it's all basic platformer stuff, so it's not too bad. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed the original. I think they made this available on Xbox Gold, and I had never played it before, so I went back and actually played it. There's really nothing memorable about it. Like, I just took a moment to glance at these achievements, and like, this is the most recent Assassin's Creed I've played, and I still remember literally nothing from it. So, this is really just like a world demo and a tech demo, and almost like nothing else. So, all of the achievements are super easy to get, except for one you want to know about ahead of time. See 85% of all memory glitches. Basically, if you're watching a cutscene and the screen gets all shimmery, make sure you press a button. And you gotta do that through the whole game. So, I didn't know about it until like halfway through the game, so I didn't get the achievement. But everything else here is very easy. Like I said, it's almost like a demo or like an intro to the world. It's not really a game. I don't remember much about the story or the people or anything. Assassin's Creed 2 is much better if you're looking for a game like that. This one's fine for Gamerscore, but besides that, there's nothing really special here. Next up, Forza Motorsport 6. I did not intend to play as much of this game as I did, but I did. It's just a racing game. I got it free with gold, and then I raced around a bit, did a bunch of like story stuff. But yeah, completing this game will take a ton of time. It's not hard at all because you can put all of the difficulties to like easy with rewinds on, so the races are easy. But like actually doing it and completing all the races and completing everything they ask you to do take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. So it's a giant commitment. If you can commit and you really like cars and racing games, then you'll probably be fine. But like, my god, is this game a big grind. I grinded 24 hours, as much as I was willing to, at 500 Gamerscore, and then I was like, I'm done. So, play as much as you can. I'm only casually into cars, I'm not one of those car people, so I couldn't do more than 24 hours. But next up, Soul Calibur 6. Soul Calibur 6 is on Games Pass now, but I also actually got the disc. I tried doing the story. I didn't find it very compelling at all. It was like a weird visual novel, and I like visual novels, so the fact that I'm calling it weird is like weird, right? The characters are okay. The actual fighting mechanics are fine. I really and truly only played this game so I could mess around with the character creator and make my some of my OCs. So, yeah, I'll be honest about that. Because like I said earlier, I don't like fighting games. I just wanted to make some original characters for fun. And that's what I did. So, yeah, if you like fighting games, this game's probably okay. I couldn't get into it. I only did it for the character creator. You're seeing I'm a little one-track mind on some of these games. And you can see there's very two distinct ways I play for the most part, right? I either go for the 100% and hit it or barely miss it, or I sample it and then I leave. So, this is another sample. If you like character creators, this is pretty good. Fighting games, okay. I still say like Tekken or Skullgirls are better, so. That's the thesis. Oh god. Next is Overwatch. My god. I played way too much Overwatch. I don't know if it's ever gonna open, but I started playing Overwatch like a month or two after it came out, and then I played it almost like every fucking day until 2019 when I stopped and I hard stopped. You see this here, like 18 October 2019? This is the last day I touched it. 1,200 hours. Yeah. 1,200 hours. I played way too much Overwatch. If people would ask if I would give this game a recommendation now, I would say no. It's too old. The community is too toxic. The meta is too fucked. Double Shield is terrible. Would I recommend it for Gamerscore? The answer is no. There's way too many achievements that like are near impossible, especially because you have to coordinate with a team of or like with 12 other people to get them. Like so many of these, okay, these ones I have a lot of, but like they have such low get rates because they're fucking damn near impossible unless you're like on a call with all other teams. No way, no way, no way. Do not play this game for Gamerscore. Do not play it for fun. Not anymore. The fun days have passed. It was good in its heyday. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of really cool people on it. But like these days, I think Overwatch isn't dead. It still has a nice community going for it. I say nice, but a decently sized community going for it, and the esports is still good. But like as a casual gamer, don't play Overwatch anymore. Its time is long gone, and my time on it is long past. Also, if you care and you're curious, I was a Diva, Mercy, Zarya, Zen main. So, support and off tank. Okay, next, We Were Here. This is a game I got for free with gold, and it's a really easy co-op puzzle game, which I would love to show you if it's going to open. I don't know why my Wi-Fi is being so slow right now. Hello? Thank you, okay. Yeah. Really easy, you just really have to play through this game twice. Once as the explorer and once as the navigator, basically. Yeah, really easy, just do it with a friend, get some free 1000 Gamerscore. Be careful when you're doing the theater. The theater is really scary because of the fucking... You can see something really scary there. It's like some weird creature that stalks you. It scared the shit out of me, I'll tell you that. But everything else here is really easy. Do it with a friend, do it quickly for Gamerscore. The actual gameplay and story sucks, so just play it for Gamerscore. Next we have Halo 5 Guardians. This is actually my first playthrough of Halo 5 Guardians. All the other Halos I'd played through before, and played through again. But this is my first time here. Played through it with a friend, it was okay. I am excited for the next game though, of course. I'm still a Halo junkie, despite not being able to play them alone. This is a big grind though for Gamerscore because you have to do a lot of online, and the online for this game, like many old onlines, is dying slowly. So, plus there's all the heroic difficulty, legendary difficulty stuff, so Halo's always been a big commitment, but like hardcore FPS people can get into it. I love FPS, but I'm not hardcore about it, so I did as much as I was willing to with my friends, and then we kind of yeeted out. So, if you like the other Halos, you'll like this one, even if the story isn't as great in some people's minds. So, you know, that's how it is. Next is The Outer Worlds. I do not know why everything's so slow today. Oh my, okay. The Outer Worlds is Obsidian's newest RPG. So it's based a lot on the ideas and kind of mechanical premise of the Fallout series, but it's an original IP about going to space. I like a lot of what they did in this game. I think they did a lot of cool stuff with like the flaw system and the character customization, and I think the world is really pretty. I think they could have done a little bit more to make their story more memorable and longer, and I think that was the main complaint other people have had too. But you do get compelling decisions in here, you do get some good character moments, and it's a pretty decent RPG overall. I would like to see where they take this series, but this is obviously a new IP, and the first game in a new IP is always kind of meh. The sequel for this is gonna slap, though. I'm assuming they're making a sequel, but like, looking at the quality of this, the sequel's gonna slap. So that's gonna be great. As far as achievements go, most of them are pretty standards. There's a few achievements that you can only get by like going back and playing the game again. You see here Hard and Supernova, and Supernova's like their survival mode, you know. It's this, save Edgewater permanently. I would just need to do another run through of the game for this, which is fine because it's like a choice-based game. That makes sense. That this is all DLC I don't have. So, I think it's a really good first new IP from them, and I'm excited to see where it goes. And if you like RPGs, you'll enjoy it. It's not as good as some of the other big RPGs on the market, but it's a pretty decent time. So, have a go with it if it's available for you. Probably, maybe don't buy it full price, but if you can experience it, I would say go for it. Next, we have After Party, 100% completion. I was really excited for After Party to come out. to come out because this was the same people who made Oxenfree, which is that game I talked about before that I liked a lot. Thankfully, this one doesn't require 3 playthroughs. I think it only requires 2, or maybe like 2.5. No, it requires 3. I lied. All their games require 3 playthroughs for some reason. Anyways, I was really excited for this game to come out, and I played it, and it was okay. Really nice color scheme, really nice ideas, but like, I don't really think they nailed the execution 100%. So, could have been a little better. Um, but if you like their other game and you like kind of like puzzle walking simulator and the idea of going through hell appeals to you, that's fine. Just know, like their other game, it's going to require 3 playthroughs to get the 3 endings. Yeah, it was okay. I wish I loved this game more than I do, honestly. Um, but yeah, and as far as getting achievements, the only thing to really know besides the 3 playthroughs is also make sure you have a little bit of technical skill. Like, played a perfect drinking game, you're not allowed to drop a single glass. Um, Somewhere you have to, like, play another drinking game and you have to get all the balls in the hole perfectly. So, takes some practice for sure, but not too terrible, not too difficult. Decently enough, easy, 100% gamer score. The last on our third page is going to be Minute. So, Minute is a really good game that I didn't think I was going to like, but I actually loved it. The whole premise in Minute is you are alive for 1 minute and you have to do as much as you can, and then you die and you reset back at your house. But the whole game is beatable. Because as you progress through the game, you have different houses that you can checkpoint at, and like that's the house you respawn at when you die. So it's a very fast pace. It's like a kind of like a dungeon crawler almost, but very, very simple, very, very cute and easy. A lot of this is just about finding all the collectibles and like exploring the whole world. And the only thing of note here, really, complete a second run and complete the game in 25 runs or less, which is like, whoa. Me, the person who doesn't do any speed runs, doing a speed run, what is this? But no, the speed run for this game is really easy. Just use a guide, and it'll tell you how to use each one of your 25 lives for like the 25-minute resets, you know? And you'll be able to beat the game super easy. So, really fun game. I would say give it a shot, even if it doesn't look like it's up your alley. I didn't think it was up mine at all, but I loved it. So, give it a shot. Good game, easy gamer score. What more is there in life? I think that's it for me. Yeah, that's the end of our third page, so we pick back up next game. We'll pick back up next time with the second page. Goodbye. Okay, we're back. We were gonna go on page 2, but once again, I have played another game, so we gotta quickly wrap up page 3 before we move on. But hopefully we can finish this today, so we're gonna keep on trucking, okay? So, here we have Gears of War 4. So, let's see if it wants to open. Okay, cool. So, Gears of War 4 is a game I played with AK because we were going through a phase where we were like done with Overwatch and all our regular games that we played together, and we were kind of going through other games we could go as like co-op that were online, and Gears of War kind of came on our radar. Neither of us had ever played a Gears of War game before, but we were like, it's a shooter, so we'll be fine, right? And yeah, it was fine. I don't really care about the Gears of War series, and even after playing this game, I realized I don't really care at all. Um, but it was like a fun waste of a few afternoons with my friend, so that was nice, I guess. Played it for like 15 hours, reached level 10, did like the campaign stuff, and kind of went around doing collectibles and some of the basics like that. Um, but yeah, Gears of War is kind of infamously bad for achievement hunting, which is why I knew going into it that I wasn't going to get very far with that. Specifically, like if you look down here, we have achievements that are like, yeah, like deposit 1 million power in the fabricator lifetime, earn 1,000 credits lifetime. It's all this stuff that's like long, long, long grinds. And like if you can do that and if you have the patience for it, like good for you, that's great. But like I feel like unless you're really into Gears of War or you know all the shortcuts, it's not gonna happen. And I don't know the shortcuts and I'm not into Gears of War, so that was never gonna happen. But if you're looking for like a co-op game with a friend, I'd say sure, go for it. It's better than nothing, just like staring at each other or whatever. But not my greatest game, not my favorite game. So now finally on page two, we're picking it up with The Last Station. So The Last Station was a game that I tried and thought I was gonna like, but I immediately hated. It's a survival game where essentially you drive this train around the world and then you make stops to get supplies. But then whenever you make stops, you have to like fight through some zombies. So, um, yeah, no, I gave it a shot. I got to like the first major area. Yeah, station A45, and then. But yeah, no, I didn't like it. Wasn't really my thing. And survivals are really hit or miss with me, anyways. And so I had a feeling I wasn't gonna be super into it. But I gave it a shot. Didn't really like it. Um, yeah, if you like survivals, I think it's fine. And it's not too hard. You can see all of these blue bars. The achievements have decent get rates for people who like this game type. It was just me. So I gave it a sample because it was on Xbox Gold. Wasn't really feeling it. Left it. Alright, next, Enter the Gungeon. Enter the Gungeon is a really good game that I'm really, really bad at. It's a roguelike, so that's, go through randomly generated dungeons, reset when you die, the whole shebang. But Enter the Gungeon is roguelike slash bullet hell, so you shoot guns and then you dodge the bullets that enemies kind of fire at you. So I'm really bad at bullet hells and I'm really bad at roguelikes. So as you'd expect, I am pretty terrible at this game. I've made it past the fourth boss before in my 8 hours of playing, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but I felt pretty bad. And I'm probably never gonna beat this game, but I wish I was talented enough to, because it is actually a really fun game, really well polished. If you've heard good things about it, everything is deserved. Um, I'm just not good at it, so I've got a decent amount of achievements just for like, going through the world and doing things, finding secrets, accessing the oubliette, stuff like that. But pretty much all the achievements I don't have, I'm probably never gonna get because they're like um, master rounds. They're really rare. This is completing the game with all of your stuff, all the characters, and like I said, I don't think I'm ever gonna be good enough to beat this game, or really put in the time to beat this game. So yeah, not on my radar for beatable games, but if you have patience or you're good at roguelikes, I'm sure you can succeed. I don't have the ability to grind out roguelikes personally, but it's such a good game, so I would say give it a shot before you pass on it. It's really good. It's just not my cup of tea. Not from like a game design perspective, because I love the design. It's not my cup of tea as in I'm trash. So next up we have Batman Arkham City. So I don't know why Arkham City is so late compared to the other games. Which one was Arkham City? Oh, I'm supposed to be full screen too. I'm not even full screen. What's wrong with me? Damn. Anyways, yeah, Arkham City. Which one was Arkham City? Psh. Oh, I think Arkham City was like the first. No, wait, Arkham City was the last one because that's the whole thing. You were in the city. Weird. I have no idea why it's so far up here. I could have swore I played it farther back. But anyway, yeah. So I played all the Batman games because they were all on Games Pass and I had never played them before. Um, and they were all pretty good. A little easy, a little like Batman-y. Like all the Batman stuff and media is kind of the same. That's my only issue with Batman. But the villains were really cool, and it was fun fighting against them, and it was pretty good playing as Batman and Selena Kyle. That was cool. Um, Nothing here really too notable. All the achievements are pretty basic. It's just like doing all of the challenges and all the collectibles. I didn't 100% the game. I did like as much as I was willing to. Yeah, like complete all the augmented reality training exercises. A lot of that involved like a shitty flight simulator that I could not like totally master, and it just pissed me off. Collect all of his gadgets and upgrades. That's related to that. Stop all assaults. I think it was like a random spawn thing, and I just couldn't get enough to spawn. Fuck all the Riddler stuff. There are way too many of them to collect, and it wasn't worth it. Um, Although looking back at these, I think if I had played this game today, I probably would have gone to get all of these collectibles from Riddler. But like when I was playing it, I just didn't have the patience because there's literally hundreds of them. Hundreds of them. So since then, I've done worse collectible grinds. So like I said, in this day and age, I probably would have done all the Riddler stuff, but when I played it, it was just too much. And then medals, these are all challenges I wasn't good enough for. New Game Plus, I didn't want to play it again. Calendar Man, you just have to get him and all the major like holidays and stuff. Perfect combo. So yeah, there's a bunch I didn't get that maybe I could have gotten if I spent more time like grinding, but I couldn't put in the grind. And I think looking through this, I've also realized this isn't the last game. This is the one. It's Arkham City, but I think you're still like in the like asylum that's attached to the city or something like that. This isn't the full one with the car. It's the one after that or the one before that. So either way, I'm getting off topic, but it's a pretty good series of games if you like third-person combat in general, or if you like Batman. It's not like amazing, but I'd say it's like a solid B game, and it's a solid B series. So if you like B games or Bat games, this is good. This is for you. Next, we have Life is Strange 2. We talked about the other Life is Stranges on here, and now we have the newest one. So Life is Strange 2 is probably the best one. I say that hesitantly because I haven't really like stopped to compare them, but like it probably is. I think the year I played it, so like a year or two ago, it won my best narrative award because they improved on a lot of what I had issues with on the first games, which was like the weird teenager writing and like the choices that the consequences didn't really make sense. Plus, instead of making like general messages that people couldn't really relate to, they did a lot more like grounded themes about like police brutality and social injustice and things like that I think really hit home, especially playing it like in 2020. And no, actually in 2019 and a little bit in 2020. So it's a really good game. Same as the last one. If you like kind of like choices have consequences and like journeys and building relationships with characters, it's a really good series for you. But I feel like Life is Strange 2 definitely has a very distinct and different feel from Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm. Because Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1 were so about like rebellious teens and the world they live in, like the small town world they live in. This one, Life is Strange 2, is more about like teens who have been wronged by society and the society they live in. So much broader, and I think honestly handles their topics much better. So, but same as before, if you beat the game, you get all of these achievements. Just grab the collectibles along the way. Nothing too difficult at all for achievements, and it's a pretty good game, so it's definitely worth a play. Up next, we have Batman Arkham Knight. See, I told you I was going through all the Batman games. Arkham Knight, this is the one with the car when you're in the city. This is the one I was thinking of. Arkham Knight is okay. A lot of people had complaints about like how much car combat there was and how much it like just like overwhelmed you with shit to do and just shit in general. But I think it's fine. Again, this whole series and all of the Batman Arkham games are about a B in my mind. So, but like achievement wise, it's the same as everything else. It's just you do all of these collectibles or all of these missions that are linked to one thing or another, like all of the Penguin missions or all of the like the Bat guy missions, the guy who got turned into a bat. I don't know what his name is. Um, all the militia missions. So yeah, it's just about really checking things off a long list. But like before, everything I didn't get is just challenges I didn't want to do. See, 46 stars in AR challenges. Um, this is about doing all the challenges and everything related to that. This is all DLC. So yeah, it's about what you'd expect from me. Skipping the challenges and skipping the multiplayer and DLC stuff, but I did the base game, and I had a pretty good time with it. So, B series if you like Batman. The B is for Batman. So, yeah, you could give it a shot if you feel like it. I feel like I gotta be making stronger recommendations. I'm not really selling any of these games. But to be fair, these are all kind of egg games. I don't know. But Untitled Goose Game is not an egg game. Untitled Goose Game is so good. Um, if you don't know about this little darling of a game, Untitled Goose Game is a stealth game where you play as a goose, and your sole objective is to wreak havoc within this little town by fucking with everyone's lives and stealing their shit and being terrible. And it's wonderful, and I love it. I played and streamed this whole game on my mixer back when I had a mixer, um, and I had a lot of fun with it. I actually made a YouTube video about it, so if you're watching this and you're interested, go watch that YouTube video. It's actually pretty funny. Um, but in general, it's a really good game if you like stealth at all, or if you like have even a small part of you who likes being a menace. It's so fun. And I did pretty much everything in the base game that I could, except for I think the speed run, and yeah, literally just the speed run. Like this is complete area 1 with a speed run, area 2 speed run, area 3 speed run, area 4 speed run, and then everything on the to-do list is all the speed runs. So, because I did everything else, I did all the collectibles, all the little secrets that you have to do and to mess with people, and I completed each individual area. I just am not good enough to complete it super fast unless I like really practiced and really put in the time. So, but it's still a really good game. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend you do. Untitled Goose Game is an absolute gem, and it's so good. Next, we have Halo the Master Chief Collection, a game I will never be done with. I talked before about how I'm a Halo stan, but Halo the Master Chief Collection is the ultimate stan game, because it just takes all of the Master Chief games. So it's, fuck, let me see if I can remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they put 5 on it. Unless they did, that'd be crazy. And then all like the Spartan Ops and stuff like that. And Reach isn't on here, but that's not Master Chief, so that makes sense. Anyway, all the games with Master Chief in it with Halo, put it in one game, made it a collection. It's wonderful. I love it, of course. I lived my dream by playing this game all the way through, and like every single campaign mission with my best friend, so that was amazing. And even then, I constantly go back to this game if I'm just like getting the itch for Halo. I'll play a little playlist, or I'll like just mess around on like on the online or PvP with my friend. So it's really fun. I love it. If you ever want to get interested in like Halo or just like try out the series, just get the Master Chief Collection. It's so worth it. You get so many games for such a low price. It's so good, so good. I have 84 hours with it, and I'm sure I'll play it more. But I will never complete it because, like the other Halo games, there is a ton of shit to do and a ton of hard shit. Some of the stuff's grindy things I just need to play more to do, like kill 100 Watchers, 100 Knights. That's from Halo 4. Like I could definitely get these with time. I just need to continue working on it. But then some of these are just like shit, like part time on this. It's like speed runs. I could maybe do it. I just gotta put in more time. Par score, part time. Complete a Halo CE playlist. I need to do more playlists. Like I said, there's just genuinely so much on this game. Not even all of this is hard. There's just so many things to do. Because I think, how many achievements does this game have? It has 7,000 total gamer score and 700 achievements. I have 365. That's pretty good, all things considered. I'm like halfway there. But also, good God, there's so much to do here. And not to mention all the legendary shit that I'll probably never do because fuck legendary. But oh my god. Master Chief Collection is so good. It's such a good time. And it's a lot of Gamerscore that you can get, even if you're not 100%ing it. It's just, man oh man. 100%ing this game must be a nightmare. There's a reason. Look at this. Look at this. 1,200 people have 100% of this. And it's so few people, it's 0% in here. Point something percent. 0.01, 0.05, whatever. Good God. So, get this game, play this game if you like first-person shooters, like, at all. But don't expect to 100% it. Or if you do, literally DM me, you're a god. Alright, next, Devil May Cry 5. Fuck this ad right here. Ignore him. Okay. Devil May Cry 5 was a game I wasn't going to play, but my friend gave me a really strong recommendation for, and then I played it, and I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. So Devil May Cry 5 is third-person action. You basically fight through like a demon-infested Earth and try to purge it of all the demons. Whatever. I don't know anything about the Devil May Cry series because this was the only one I played. I just kind of jumped into it and tried it out, and I had a good time. It's like really like cheesy, actiony bullshit, but not too cheesy, actiony bullshit. It's like just the right amount. So I'm not in love with it the way some people are, but I had a good enough time, like fighting my way through the city and stuff. And the characters are really endearing. Mostly V. V is my favorite by far. I know he's like super emo and edgy and stuff, but like, ugh, V's the best. Dante is really good too. And what the fuck is the main guy's name? Nier? Oh my god, I don't remember his name. Whatever. The point is, it's a pretty good game if you just like action or you just like fucking around with combat. And even if you're bad, they have nice like settings that make it pretty easy to beat the game. So, and yeah, that's kind of what I did. I went through the main game, did all the missions, and that's about it. Everything I didn't get was like harder difficulties and it's like secret missions. Yeah, like S skills and grinding out all of their skills. Nero. Nero was that kid's name. I said Nier, so I was close enough. Yeah. Nero, Dante, and V. Those are your three protagonists, and they're all pretty good. So, and then obviously this is DLC. Big shock, I haven't done it. So, yeah, if you like action games, I think it's pretty fun. Even if you've never done the other Devil May Cries, I had a good time with it. So, next is Batman the Telltale series. This was really the year of Batman, huh? God. Anyway, yeah, Batman the Telltale series was free on Xbox Gold, and I tried it and I played it and I hated it. Because you've seen my account, I've played pretty much all the Telltale games. But, like, this one was just the worst. Because, like, the writing was dog shit. Like, I don't remember anything that happened. And as far as, like, stakes and Batman villains go, there was almost no one there and almost nothing happened. Plus, the game had, like, a ton of audio-visual issues. Visual, it was just like a ton of lag and like really low frame rate and shit like that. And then audio, multiple times during when I played this, audio would just cut out for like 20 minutes at a time and then randomly come back. So, extremely annoying. Not a good or well made game at all, but I played through it for all the achievements. Because fuck it, free Gamerscore. But I don't recommend you play this game as like to enjoy it. If you're gonna play it, just do it for the Gamerscore because it is not well made. I don't know what happened with this game with Telltale, but like the quality really dropped off with this one. But it is free Gamerscore, so I guess it still has a purpose. Next, we have Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So I saw that they had all of the Tomb Raider games on Game Pass. And when I was like looking through Game Pass at this time, I saw that they were about to take all of them off. So this was like January of like last year. So it's like a year ago now. So I just like sat down, took a deep breath, cracked my knuckles, and resolved myself to play all of these games. So I played all the Tomb Raider games that they had on Games Pass back to back. So first one was Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. So this one is pretty good. I think it's a pretty good introduction and starting off point with the Tomb Raider games, even though there's a million of them. But yeah, this is the one where you play as Laura when her friends and you all like crash on an island in search of, I think, some kind of treasure. It's a very basic, like, treasure hunter stuff. But then, oh no, the island's cursed, and you have to break the curse if you want to leave the island. And you're also fighting against all of these people who hate you and want to kill you. So, basically what you'd expect. It's a pretty good game. Combat's really nice, really clean. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I did, or I thought I was going to. Pretty basic, alternating between like the bow and gun shootouts and third-person cover action, what you'd expect. Achievements, pretty much a lot of these are like collectibles, like see documents found, tombs completed, relics found, all skills, game completed, all of the collectible stuff. So if you use a guide, it's not that bad. And you can backtrack so you won't literally miss anything. Um, Everything I didn't do, let me see. Rope pull, yeah, dodge counters. These are just things that I could have grinded out, but I didn't realize I needed to until it was too late. So I would have to replay the game to go get these again, but eh. All conversations with the endurance crew. Again, I didn't know I was supposed to be looking for that until it was too late. And then all of these are multiplayer. So I did almost everything you could do without multiplayer, save for like 3 achievements. But the base game is pretty easy, pretty good. Like I said, nice combat, nice experience overall. So I'd give it a recommend if you like third person or like action games, or if you just want to try out Tomb Raider, see what it's all about. Pretty good game. Next, before we get into the other Tomb Raider games that I was just talking about, we have a brief interlude for Slay the Spire. So, Slay the Spire is a card battler game where you build your deck and which is random every time based on what cards you find and what cards you pick up, and you make your way to the top and you try to fight your way to the end. So, because it's a roguelike, aka your progress gets reset, I'm terrible at it. But I've made it to the third area before, because I think there's only 3 areas. Because it's Area 1 boss, Area 2 boss, and then Area 3. But I made it to Area 3 and I just didn't have enough health, so I died. But I'm not great at it. I pick it up and play it every once in a while, trying to like get good and get in practice, but the only achievements I've gotten are the really like basic ones about like reaching the bosses and defeating them for the first time. Such a level 20, no, I'm not that good. All of these win conditions for the game, like a single relic and stuff that make it harder. Yeah, no. I can barely play the game. I'm never gonna be able to get all of this stuff. But if you like card battlers, it's really fun. It's on Games Pass. That's where I picked it up, and that's where I was enjoying it. And it's still pretty enjoyable. I like to pick it up every once in a while just to play a little bit. But like most roguelikes, I don't have faith in my ability to completely beat it, so yeah, that's that. But I'd say give it a try if you want to see if you like card battlers and stuff. I think it's a good introduction to that series because it's pretty simple, nothing too complicated. Just roguelikes, which I'm bad at. All right, enough with our little sidetrack. Back to Tomb Raider. Like I said, all the Tomb Raiders were leaving Games Pass, and I was like, fuck, I gotta hurry up and play them. So I played Tomb Raider. Apparently, took a break for Slay the Spire, and then I went to Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is the second game. So Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think, kind of improved on all of the aspects of the first. The combat is cleaner. The story is more interesting and more engaging. All the characters are a little better. Like I don't really remember any of the characters from 1 except the returning character, and Laura, obviously. But yeah, the characters are better. The combat's better. The story's better. Yeah, and it's just like they kind of really just like went and improved everything. So yeah, in this one, the first one you crash on an island. In this one, you basically like go up this big mountain to find this lost city and this I think this item that's supposed to give people invulnerability or whatever the word, immortality. That's it, immortality. So yeah, so yeah, and that's your whole premise. And you go around fighting people, killing people who want to kill you, climbing, collecting relics, the whole shebang. But I'd say this is a better game, but I'd say start with the first one, because it's nice to kind of experience her journey as a Tomb Raider. Eh. So, yeah, achievement-wise, a lot of what you see in the last game, where it's just like getting things over time, or like using your abilities well, killing 3 enemies with 1 shotgun blast, 25 stealth kills, and then, collectible stuff, achieve 100% game completion. That's right, I did that. Line up, ladies. Complete every challenge. So, getting all the challenges, doing all their miscellaneous stuff. I don't have... Let me see. I only have 36% completion, but I don't know what I didn't do. Let me check. Because I did a lot. 2 enemies or more using a single Molotov cocktail. This was glitched for me. I did this so many times. Just did not work. Melee 5 off a ledge. There's only certain areas where you can do this, and I didn't set it up enough. Kill 5 enemies in 10 seconds using rifle. I could have done that. I should have done that. And then all of this card stuff is and like score attack stuff. It's just like grinding their endless mode forever. So yeah, I wasn't gonna grind it forever. I'm sorry. And then this is all DLC and multiplayer. Yeah, DLC and multiplayer, DLC and multiplayer. Yeah. There's a ton of achievements here. Not exactly an easy completion, but putting in like the actual grind to just complete the base game isn't too bad. You get 800 gamer score, 30 hours, pretty good experience. So I give this a recommend. I would say play all these 3 games that I'm about to recommend in order. So um, Definitive Edition, Rise, and then Shadow. But they're all good games. I'd say they're all definitely worth playing. Speaking of, now we have our last one here, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider was pretty weak for me. They tried to do like make everything a lot more like dramatic and world-ending consequence, but I don't think they really stuck the landing with like their storytelling. But like the first ones, it was still pretty enjoyable. So I had a good time running through it. And in this one, your whole premise is like you're going through jungles, finding this lost civilization, helping them, and then trying to, I think, find this box that's going to be monumental in the end of the world if you don't stop it. So, again, bigger consequences, but like, I don't know. The stakes didn't really hit for me. And as far as actually playing through it and getting achievements, I was actually in a big rush to finish this game because I told you they were taking these games off Games Pass and I had to finish them before they took them off. This one I played like right down to the wire, like the day before it got taken off. So anything I didn't get was just because I didn't have time to actually play it. But I got a decent amount of everything. Like all the not all the collectibles. I skipped the collectibles in this one, but I did a lot of the random stuff, like crafting special ammunition 50 times, collecting this many critters, doing some of the random stuff, shoot a turkey with a flare round, stuff like that. But you'll see, yeah, I didn't do all the artifacts. I didn't do all these treasure chests. 5 minutes with friendly fire. Oh yeah, I ran out of the tools to make that specific like frenzy potion or whatever. And then all these are DLC. So I did a decent amount considering that I was on a big time crunch to finish this game. And if I wasn't on that much of a time crunch, I definitely could have gotten some of these collectible ones. I definitely wouldn't have gotten these. These are just, look at, these are hard difficulty achievements, but you get 15 gamer score. That's so not worth it. Come on. And 5 gamer score for reaching 100% completion? What kind of fucking reward is that? That's not a reward at all. Come on. Reward your players better. Anyway, I would still give this one a recommendation like the other ones. It's just a nice little trilogy of Tomb Raider games to play and experience the Tomb Raider world. This one's not the best, but still a good time because it's still pretty good combat and it's still decent enough storytelling that it's enjoyable. Just don't play them on a time crunch like me. Go enjoy them. Alright, next up we have Jackbox Party Pack 2. Oh man. Okay. So, I play Jackbox with my friends all the time, but we play on PC. And I'm not the one who owns it on PC. It's one of my other friends. So, all of these achievements here I got with me and my friends just like turning on a ton of devices. Like a desktop and our laptop and our phones. And the 2 of us playing on like 6 or 7 devices getting all of these achievements. So, for the most part, it's pretty doable in that way. You just kind of gotta follow the rules for what to do. Like, play a 6-player game. Again, all we needed is 6 devices. Write pork pants in a battle and win with it. Again, just really following the instructions. Nothing too difficult as long as you and maybe like one friend can manage that many devices at once. The only things that were really fucking difficult are these ones at the top. Bomb Core, Bomb Core, Bomb Core, Bomb Core. Bomb Core is the shittiest game in any Jackbox Party Pack, and I've played pretty much all of them, so I can say that. It's a bomb defusal game where to defuse the bomb you have to like solve these little riddles in order to do it. And the riddles start pretty okay, but they get real bullshit near the end. And the way you progress through this is it doesn't like save after every bomb that you've defused. You have to defuse like 10 bombs in a row each day, and then after 10 bombs, it will save, and then you can go on and progress. So what would happen all the time is I would defuse like 8 bombs in a row, or like 7 bombs in a row, make one mistake, and then have to reset and do all of those bombs over again. So it was a huge grind, really difficult. I was initially doing it with my boyfriend, but eventually I just kind of sat down and grinded it off alone to get to this one, the Alien Baby, which is the very final one. And this game is really hard and it's a big grind. Even for me, I'm really good at puzzles and like riddles, but like, oh my god, they really like max you on your fucking thinking ability and your ability to solve shit without making a single mistake. Oh my god. So the Jackbox Party Pack is good, and it's good gamer score, and it's a good experience with other people. Just don't play Bombcore if you value your sanity. Like, there's a reason this game has only 2% completion, and why only 700 gamers have this achievement. Because it's hard as shit, and Bombcore is terrible. So, yeah. And you can't look up the answers online, because it's randomized every time, so don't even think about doing that. But yeah, get this game to play with your friends, and play it with your friends, or get the majority with you and your one friend playing on a ton of devices. Just don't do Bombcore. Please. I beg of you. Save yourself the pain and suffering that I suffered. I mean, on a pro side, this is now like one of my rarest and most valuable achievements, but like also, my god, it wasn't worth it. Fuck Bombcore. Next, we have Tracks, the train set game. Oh boy. This is a game that I actually initially 100%ed, but they added DLC that I didn't get and didn't play, so it took away my 100%. But this is a really easy game if you just follow a guide. Maka91 has a really nice guide on his YouTube, but basically all you really have to do is like build a little train set and do little objectives like pick up people from stations and stuff like that. Really easy gamer score. Like I said, you see all these really high get rates. Nice and easy, 1000. And then they added DLC, so the DLC are just as easy. I just didn't get the DLC, so I didn't get it. So, but I'd say if this game is cheap when you can get it, you could get it for a pretty easy gamer score. For me, it was on Games Pass, so I didn't have to pay anything. I just grabbed it, got the achievements really quick, got out. If you could do the same, I recommend it. It's not a great actual game, but for gamer score, it's easy gamer score. Next, we have Fishing Sim World Pro Tour. I knew I wasn't gonna beat this game going into it. I downloaded this whole game, which was, I don't even know, like 70G, something like that, with the idea in mind that I wanted to catch one fish. I don't remember why anymore, I just really wanted to catch one fish. And that's exactly what I did. I turned on the game, I played for 30 minutes not understanding the mechanics, I caught a fish, got this achievement, and then I celebrated for the next 7 minutes. So that's this entire game. Don't play this game for gamer score. It's a huge grind. All of these have like no get rates. Like, look at this. With 25 multiplayer session, no one fucking plays multiplayer in Fishing Sim. These are all DLC. There's way too many of them because, of course, all sports games are a scam. Don't play this game. This game is a meme to even be here. I just wanted to catch a fish. And I did. Thank you very much.
Genuinely think there's no game I hate more. Oh! There's a fish on the line! What do I do?
Reel it back slow.
No,
If it fights,
every time I...
shake it.
No, every time I try to reel it in, it messes up.
Maybe tire up the fish.
I'm trying. I don't even know what I'm doing. Wow, the line tension is through the roof. Okay. Oh, no! Oh! Oh! Okay, okay, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Take the line, take the line, take the line. It's yours, it's yours, it's yours. It's yours. Or is it? Oh, too much tension. Come on. This dude's fucking running circles around me. Did I do it? Ah! I caught a fish! Woo!
Hey!
I fucking did it! Oh my god!
You did it!
It fucking happened! Fuck yes, largemouth bass! Suck a dick!
Oh my god. Are you gonna use the bash's large mouth?
Oh my god, I cannot believe it happened! Oh, we did it. It only took half an hour. Okay, I'm never playing this game again. I am immediately going to
Are you
uninstall
uninstalling it?
Yeah,
Oh
actually,
my
wait, is there
god.
any achievements I can get? It took like 2 hours to install too.
Are you actually kidding me? You waited
No.
2 hours for this? It's gross. That is the saddest commentary you've told me in a long time. You waited 2 hours to catch one fish, and it took you 30 minutes to catch.
I caught my fish. Fuck this game. Next, we have Jackbox Party Pack 3. Another Jackbox game. Again, all these games are good. Just follow the instructions with friends and you can get pretty much all the achievements. Yeah. Like I said, just the only thing that I didn't get, let's see here. 25 or more in math killing floor. Yeah, I wasn't that good at math, so I couldn't get this. Guess within 5% of an audience answer. We didn't have enough people or devices to have a full house plus audience. So, yeah. You saw your colors in a single drawing. This one is glitched for me. Be the creator of every shirt in the final gauntlet. Again, I don't really get how those two worked. I followed the instructions for these ones, they didn't work, and I just kind of gave up. Maybe I was just kind of misunderstanding them, but either way, for the most part, you could just follow the instructions, the achievements, and they're pretty easy to get. Plus, the Jackbox games are just really great games to play with friends anyways, so get them and enjoy them. No bomb core in this one, so it's immediately better than the last one. Next, we have The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Ooh woo. So yeah, The Witcher is a game that came to Games Pass, and so I played it. Obviously everyone knows what The Witcher is. It won a lot of people's like game of the decade, I think. And it's the game that launched CD Projekt Red into popularity in the public eye, made them play I can't fucking talk. Made them make Cyberpunk and so on and so forth. So, you know, everybody knows what The Witcher is. And of course I knew, but I had never played it. So this was my first time playing it here on Xbox through Games Pass. It was pretty good. It wasn't my favorite game, which I know is controversial to a lot of people, but like, the fantasy was good, but not great. I've seen better fantasy. First one that comes along and comes to mind is Dragon Age, but maybe that's just my opinion. Combat was good, but not amazing. Better combat exists. Honestly, I like the Tomb Raider combat better than this. That's probably super controversial, but that's my opinion. And yeah, characters were better than this. Again, Dragon Age has better characters. So it's a good game. Like, I would give this game a B plus, or maybe even an A minus. So it's definitely good. And that's why everybody fucking talks about it nonstop and loves it. Because it's good, for sure. It's just not great to me. So, I played through this as much as I was willing to. I did a lot of the contracts, the hunts, got all the abilities, got to the high level, all of that shit. I didn't do everything, like I didn't collect all the cards, because you had to be good at Gwent at that, and I was not good at Gwent. These are all high difficulty stuff. These are all horse races. Yeah, everything I didn't do was like difficulty or Gwent, basically. So I really and truly played the shit out of this game, but it wasn't the game for me. I would say it's a good game, it's just not for me, you know? And then DLC, I didn't have the DLC. I've heard Blood and Wine is really good, so part of me kind of regrets not buying that DLC. But at the same time, you kind of heard my opinion on The Witcher. It's good, but not my cup of tea, so I don't really know if I would spend the money on DLC. But in general, though, if you do like fantasy or you like third-person action in general, I would say get this game, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and probably enjoy it more than me. But I thought this was a pretty okay experience. You know, worth the time, not worth a replay, not worth the praise it gets. There are better games out there. Sorry, not sorry. Next, we have Astroneer. Astroneer is another one of those games that I found out was multiplayer, and then me and my friends sat down and played through a bunch of it. So, we didn't get too far. You see, we only got like 7 hours in here. Just because it's such a grind with all of the like collection and exploration and building you have to do, but it's not like the fun kind of grind you have like in Minecraft. It's just so tedious that we just got kind of tired of it. So we played a decent bit of it, did some of the collectible stuff. Sorry, not the collectible stuff. Did some of the basic like research stuff and like building stuff, and we got to the second planet. But after the second planet, we just kind of fell off it. Didn't really care anymore. And you can see it's what happens to a lot of people who play here too. Starts off strong, people enjoy it, and then they just kind of peter out. So it was an okay experience. If you really like survival or like building games, I'm sure you'll love it. Because it is cute and it is pretty well made. It was just the kind of grind that I wasn't really feeling, and it was okay, but not really worth it for long term. So a good little sample into this genre, I think, but once again, not really my cup of tea. Next, we have Batman: The Enemy Within, the Telltale series. So this is the second Batman Telltale game, and it is much better than the first one that I just like ragged on and said was terrible. This one, they fixed all of their audio and visual problems. They made the combat actually interesting. They introduced a lot of good characters like the young Joker and like Harley Quinn and so many of the like iconic actual characters that we care about. And there was actually decent moral decisions that I think were good questions and good like things to ponder. So I don't want to spoil it too much, I guess, but like this is definitely a better Batman game than the other one, and it's a decent Telltale game. Not their best by far, but like playable and interesting, which is more than can be said for some of these other games. So, and like before, play the game, get the Gamerscore, nice and easy. So, worth a shot if you like Telltale games, unlike that other one. Next, Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition. This was another one that's like leaving Games Pass. Try it out before it leaves. And I did it. I played the whole game and I beat it. So this is a third-person platformer Metroidvania melee combat game. Guacamelee, melee combat. Never would have guessed. But yeah, it's pretty good. I don't remember what I did and didn't do in it though. What did I not do? Complete all side quests. Oh yeah, I didn't like 100% all the side quests and stuff because some of it was just like combos that were impossible. It's like the fighting game combos where you have to like do like X X up B Y Y Z and you have to do it all within like a half second. So like no, I'm not that technically skilled. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then hard mode 100% completion. So yeah, I did a pretty decent chunk of this game. You see I got 57%, not including this chunk. And then of course there's all the DLC, which isn't too bad actually. But it's a pretty decent Metroidvania and a pretty decent like little combat game. Nothing about it really like sticks with me as or like stands out as being like amazing and life changing, but it's pretty decent. So I'd say give it a play if you want to try it if you're interested. But nothing amazing here, just a decent game. Next, Borderlands Game of the Year Edition. So we already talked about the Borderlands games on here, but this is the Xbox One version. The other Borderlands that I played was the Xbox 360 version. So this version, the Xbox One version, came to like free play days with gold twice. So what I did is during those 2 free play days, I beat as much of it as I could within that like weekend or whatever that it was free play. And I did a pretty decent grind on it considering that it was only there for 2 weekends. 71%. So I probably could have done more. Yeah, like I definitely could have gotten like to level 40 and done more of the DLC stuff. But like genuinely I just didn't have enough time before they took it off of the free play days. So if it ever comes back to free play days, I probably can get as far as I got in the other Borderlands in this one. But at this point I can't play any more of this game because I don't actually own it. I was just playing it for free to play. So yeah. But like the other one, still good. Little basic, not as good as 2, but it's still a good game because all the Borderlands games are good. Next we have Streets of Rage 4. So Streets of Rage 4 is like an arcade like side-scrolling fighter, you know. Not my kind of game at all, but I gave it a shot to play it with my friend. And we had a decent enough time. We were both really bad at it, and we had to keep like lowering the difficulty so we could even beat it. But if you like that kind of like difficult side-scrolling beat 'em up, you'll enjoy this game. Everyone says it's really nice and really like true to the classics. So we're not big fans of the classics with that. But we did a run through. We beat the game, and it was okay. So decent time with it. I'll never go back and do these. All of these are about beating the campaign as every character, and then like grinding out stuff for this game. We're doing it on like high difficulty. Sorry. So yeah, it was okay. A decent multiplayer experience, which is good, but not for me. No, it wasn't made for me. So really nice environment to work on this game, though. I gotta say, really pretty decent character design too. So a good experience, but not an amazing game. Let's say that. Next, we have Overcooked 2. Overcooked 2 was on Games with Gold and also with Games Pass, I think. Either way, me and two friends downloaded it, and then over the course of like a weekend, we played through the entire campaign. And we all got to love and hate each other a lot. If you're gonna only play like one Overcooked game, do the second one, not the first one. The first one, first of all, is couch co-op only, and this one is online multiplayer. But also just this one is so much better and so much more polished and really fun, really creative levels. Some of them are fucking crazy and hard as shit, but like if you build a good team and you have like co-op companions you can trust, you get a lot of good experiences out of this. A lot of yelling and a lot of laughter, and it's a really, really good multiplayer game. So we made our way through a lot of it. Did a bunch of versus games, did all the grindy achievements, or most of them, I think. We completed all of the levels and hidden levels in the base game, so we really, really put in the time. Finished 15 party games. We could have done this. I don't know why we didn't. I think we were just kind of tired of playing this game at that point. Because, like, again, this was literally all in, like, one weekend. We did all of this, so. And then all of this is DLC, so. We talked about one day getting the DLC to play it, and I think if we ever have a friend who buys it, we definitely will. But for right now, we've stopped at pretty much everything in the base game and just left it there. But it's a really good game if you have friends you want to play with and get to know really well how much you hate each other. Play Overcooked 2. It's a really good co-op experience. Don't play it alone. It's sad alone and hard alone. Play with someone else. Next, we have Hyperdot. Hyperdot was a game that I tried out, again, because it was on Games Pass. Didn't really get into it. It's just a game about, like, you control a dot and you have to dodge all of the enemies on screen. Yeah, it was okay. I went as far as I could until I got shit and stopped, so. Let's see, I got to, like, level 60 or 70? Something like that. So, if you're better at this type of game, you could probably go farther. And maybe you'd enjoy it more, but I dodged as much as I would like to, realized I was tired of dodging, and left it behind. So, that's that. If you're super good at this game, these types of games, you might be able to go a little farther. But based on these achievement counts, it seems like some of these are actually pretty hard. So, try it out, see how you feel about it. I'm not in love with it. Next is Minecraft Dungeons. This game is a solid okay. It's like, yeah, no, it's, okay, so this game is like a solid okay. It's like a bad Diablo 3. Without any of like the nuance and intricacies of the gameplay. It's a really simple game. Really simple dungeon crawlery combat action. And the story's basic and stupid. So, like, it's an okay afternoon or two with some friends. But, like, it's not a great game overall. Play its better alternatives, like Diablo. Don't bother with this one. Honestly. Gamerscore, not too difficult to come by. It's just about playing the game and then playing it over again. But the game, you can get through the main story in, like, 7 hours, so it's really nothing. Just not the best. Just kind of okay overall. Play it with some friends for a little bit. Play it till you get tired. Leave and move on. Don't get the DLC. It's not worth it. Okay game. Next we have Yakuza 0. Ooh. Ooh. Oh man. Okay. Sorry. Yakuza 0 is one of the greatest games ever made, and I will stand by that statement until the end of time. I started playing this game and I looked at it and it was like a third-person beat 'em up about the Yakuza. I didn't think I was gonna like it at all. I didn't like the vibes from it at all. But oh my god, this game is so good and it gets so good. The characters are amazing. The combat is so fun. The writing is like jaw-dropping. Like the drama and the character tension is amazing. And not even that, on the other side of that, the drama is amazing and the humor and comedy is so on point. This game is like a roller coaster of emotions, and every single point it takes you on that roller coaster is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And the gameplay is so good and so fucking tight. And this world is so nuanced because I told you this is a third-person like combat game, but there's also so many other things you can do in the world. Like you can fucking use every vending machine, and you can use the claw machines, and you can play mahjong, and you can play chess, and you can play not chess, shogi. Sorry, you can play shogi, you can play mahjong, you can play pool, you can do drinking games, you could become a real estate broker, you can run a cabaret club. It's just, there's so much you can do in this game, and all of it is good, and all of it is fantastically written. I don't want to talk too much about it, but like, genuinely one of the best video games that's ever been made. Ever. And no one ever talks about it because it's not like one of the mainstream games like GTA or like stuff like that. But genuinely, this is better than GTA. It's better than, it's better than The Witcher. It's better than all of the mainstream AAAs that you see. Just because it's, I don't know, people totally miss this game. It flew off my radar for a long time, and it flew off a lot of people's radars, so they're like, oh, because I haven't heard of it, it must not be good. No. Yakuza 0, and the Yakuza series in general, is one of the best video game series ever made. Hands down, jaw drops on floor, phenomenal. Do yourself a favor and play it. Start with 0, and then you can go on to Kiwami and Kiwami 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 like a dragon. That's your order. For the love of God, please play it. It's so good. I got 80%, and I played like 200 hours of this game, something like that. What I didn't get was just combat stuff I wasn't skilled at, and like hard mode, but that's fine. I don't care. Such a good fucking game. Such a good series. Please, if you take nothing away from this like 3-hour long video, just take away that you should play Yakuza 0. 100% worth it. Next, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. This is going to be a total opposite side of the story. Tried it because I wanted to see if I liked like flying simulators and like flying combat. I don't. I did the first mission, realized I didn't like it, left it. So, if you like this game seems pretty cool. I really like the trailer for this game. Seems really cool and dramatic. But, not my game. Don't like flight combat. So, goodbye. Next, Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. This is a game that came to Gold. And I've played a handful of Shantae games now. Starting with that one we mentioned earlier, which was Half Genie Hero, right? So, Pirate's Curse is good in that that's a pretty decent story and a pretty decent like game overall, but maybe not the best Shantae game because it's a little stupid hard at times. Like you just take a ton of damage from enemies, and like the levels are like overcrowded with enemies. There's like no balance, and you're always like choked on screen for shit going on, especially as you get to the later levels. So I don't think it's a really well balanced game, and I think this is probably one of the most frustrating games I played in 2020. But like, it's a decent game, and if you like the other Shantae games, you'll probably like this. Just know it's one of the harder Shantae games. So I did all the collectibles, did all the base stuff in the games, and like usual, what I didn't do was, I think, speedruns, and yeah, defeating enemies without taking damage. So, couldn't be me, but decent game if you like Metroidvanias, and Shantae, just a little hard. Next, we have Coffee Talk. Coffee Talk is a really, really cute game. It was on my radar, and then it came to gold, which was phenomenal, so I got it for free. But Coffee Talk is a game where you are the barista of a coffee shop, and then people come into your shop and they order drinks. You make them their drink, and then you talk about their experiences and what's going on in the world. So, and this world is interesting because it's a world where like a bunch of fantasy creatures all like live together, kind of like normal people. So there's like vampires and werewolves and aliens and espers and things like that, and humans as well. And they all just like kind of casually live together in this world. So it is a really good game if you're the kind of person who likes games like that, where it's like talking and meeting characters and building relationships and like simple, chill gameplay. Which I don't know if you can tell, I'm much more of a chill than a hardcore gamer. So I of course loved it. A lot of people thought it was like too calm, too slow for them, but I really, really enjoyed it. I strongly recommend Coffee Talk if you like slow games. Even if not, pretty easy completion percentage. So if Gamerscore incentivizes you, you can do that instead. But yeah, good game, worth it. I recommend it. I liked it a lot. And I believe that's it for page 2, but we still have time and we're getting close. So we are going to go on page 1, the final page. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost at 1,000. Damn. And what better game to kick off our first page / final page than Minecraft? So, I talked about this before. I had another version of Minecraft on here, which was the disc one that I played alone. This is the cross-platform compatible one that I play with my friends. 109 hours, not that much, but that's because all 109 of those hours were dedicated to achievement hunting. So, I've done the vast majority of things in this game. Beat the Ender Dragon, beat the Wither, built the beacon, a lot of the main stuff. What I haven't done is just things we couldn't get to spawn in our world, mostly. Like, defeated an evoker, use the Totem of Undying to cheat death. That's all about finding that one spawn in the forest, and we could not get it to spawn for us. We tried for hours. Befriend 20 stray cats. They added this after I kind of got a lot of the other achievements, so I didn't have time to grind this out. I could grind it out eventually, but I just haven't put in the time. Trade for 1,000 emeralds. Huge grind they added too late. Cook someone suspicious stew. I don't remember how to cook suspicious stew. Probably pretty easy. Might have to go back and get that one. Move and place a bee nest with 3 bees inside using Silk Touch. I think we just need a Silk Touch pickaxe, honestly. So yeah, we've done the vast majority though. Like you just saw like the collection of that I don't have, but I also have all of these ones. All of these ones. So yeah, I've put in a good grind on Minecraft, gotten a lot of Gamerscore from it, had a lot of fun with my friends. I'm not like a hardcore Minecraft player like a lot of people are. Again, I'm mostly playing it for the Gamerscore and just a little something to do. But again, if you haven't played Minecraft, you're still missing out, and it's still pretty easy Gamerscore to you. So if you've played it but you haven't gone for Gamerscore, maybe go for Gamerscore. Some fun achievements in there. So yeah. Next we have Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley is a game that I've completed on PC, and on PC I have 300 hours in. On Xbox I only have a handful of hours and a handful of completions, because like the Borderlands Game of the Year edition on Xbox One that I got from Free Play Days with Gold, I also got Stardew Valley on Free Play Days with Gold. So, during the Free Play Days, I did as much as I could, and then I had to stop because I don't actually own the game. So, if it comes back on Free Play Days, I'll probably put in some more grind and get as far as I can, but I don't actually own it, so everything I'm doing, I was just doing during like one weekend. So, yeah. Great game though if you like farming simulators or like casual life sims, which I obviously do, so I enjoyed it. It's really fun. Just, again, only reason I didn't complete it here is because I don't actually own it. Next, Yakuza Kiwami 2. there's not really anything new I have to say about this that I didn't say about Zero, because all of the Yakuza games just build on each other and add more good stuff to an already good package. But this is a remake of the first game in the series. So play Yakuza 0 and then play Yakuza Kiwami. Great game, really good. Nothing to say except play it. And what I said about the first one, which is fantastic everything, well-rounded everything, an amazing experience. Please play the Yakuza games. I'm begging you. Kiwami 2, same shit. Remake of the second game, phenomenal game. Go play it. Be careful with this one, it's a little bit graphic heavy. So Yakuza 2, 5, 6, and Like a Dragon might be a little bit much if you have an older Xbox. I know because I have a friend who has an older Xbox and he's struggling a little bit with them. But 100% worth playing. They're so good. Play the Yakuza games. That's literally all I have to say. Go play them, please. Felix the Reaper. Felix the Reaper is an isometric puzzler where you essentially like move boxes around and as a Reaper and then try to cause these people's deaths, because that's your job as a Reaper. You have to kill them and collect their soul. So I made it through, I think, 2 chapters? Yeah, I made it through 2 chapters. Was okay, wasn't really in love with it, so I didn't go any farther. It's a little hard, but it's pretty doable with a guide, I think. Looking here, it says 0% completion. It might be bugged. Let me see if it's bugged here. Okay, well, the time trials are either impossible or they're bugged. Let's see, actually, I'm curious. Oh, okay, it's bugged. Yeah, people are saying it's fine on other platforms. So yeah, it's bugged. You can't get the completion. So if that matters to you, don't play this game. And it's a little hard, so you might need a guide. But it's an okay game. Wasn't up my alley. So yeah. Okay, next we have the Turing Test. The Turing Test was a game I started playing for achievements because it's just an easy like 3D puzzle game, kind of like Portal. But I actually got surprised because I wasn't paying attention to the story. But the story in the background is actually really good. So, if you play this game, I recommend don't play it with a guide, just play it naturally, and actually listen to the story that's going on and the conversations that are going on between these characters. And it's actually really cool. And it has a really, like, actually shocking midpoint twist that really, like, fucking wow. Really surprised me, really made me invested in this more than I ever was expecting to. So, it's actually a pretty good game, pretty good puzzle game overall. If you need to, you can just look up the puzzles, but play it for the story, funnily enough. Not just the Gamerscore, not just the puzzles. Surprisingly good story here. Wasn't expecting that. Well worth your time, though. Next, we have Hypnospace Outlaw. So, Hypnospace Outlaw is a game where you play as a moderator on this fake internet, called Hypnospace. And you have to click around different people's like profiles and stuff, like moderating them and blocking them for like inappropriate language and other violations of your Hypnospace code. In like the year 1999, like so right before the turn of the century. So it's a very like weird retro cult classic kind of game, but I enjoyed it a lot. And it's fun to like click around and see all the weird websites and like figure out all these little puzzles to get the achievements. I didn't 100% it because of these two. Let me see here. Yeah, Let You Down. I think this is for completing this mini game that I wasn't any good at. And then Thank You So Much. This is the thanked achievement. I think this is for like completing your collection of in the game. So you have to click on like every single page on the entire game. Which sounds easy, but a bunch get like locked out of you if you don't do the exact right stuff. So it's annoying and difficult. So I did the best I could, but I couldn't completely 100% it. But still a really good game. If you like weird, wacky games and like reading a bunch, then this is a game for you. If not, then maybe skip. Next, Dark Pictures anthology Man of Medan. So I own Until Dawn on PlayStation, and I played a ton of Until Dawn It's one of my favorite horror games, or just one of my favorite games in general, especially because I don't like horror. So, pretty good characters. It's really cheesy, but at the same time, it's so endearing you can't help liking it. That was always the big appeal of it for me. Playing it feels like watching a horror movie with your friends on the weekends. So it's got such good nostalgic vibes. So I've always loved it for that reason. And I went up to Man of Medan thinking it was going to be kind of more of that. But honestly, I don't like it nearly as much. The characters aren't as compelling. The story is much easier to guess what's going on and way shorter. And also, despite coming out years after Until Dawn, it's way less polished, like graphically and everything. So it's weirdly unsatisfying to play. And I played it with my friend actually because they had like a co-op story thing where you could both play the horror game at the same time as like different characters. So that was kind of cool, at least in theory. But we played it online, and the lag is actually what caused us to die. Like, we didn't lose all of our characters, but all the characters we lost was because of lag. So, overall, I think the message here is that the concept is fine, and they've made good horror games in the past, but they really couldn't nail the execution with this one, and as such, it's just an okay game. So we did one run through. I'm not going to run through it again. It's okay at best. If you're interested in this general idea, just go play Until Dawn. Man of Medan is its shitty cousin, but Until Dawn is worth it. Next, we have Night Call. So Night Call is a game where you play a taxi driver in Paris, and you're recruited or kind of blackmailed by this police investigator into helping her with her investigation. So what you do is you drive around people in the city, and then you drive specifically around people who are related to this case. And then based on information you get from them and talking to them in your car, you have to determine if they are the serial murderer who is currently rampaging your city or not. So it's a pretty neat premise. Again, one of those really like story-driven, character-driven, talking-based games that if aren't your style, you won't like. But they are my style, so I did like this. Yeah, and I beat this game multiple times because you can do run-throughs for multiple killers. Because I don't remember what they are. There's like the Sandman, the Angel of Death, and Justice, something like that. But there's 3 different killers with 3 different MOs. Yeah, and I beat the game at least 3 times, maybe more, because a lot of these achievements are based on having very specific car rides with very specific people that you have to be lucky enough to encounter on your journey. So, I did as much as I was willing to, which was actually a ton. Like I said, I think I've beaten this game like 6 times. But if I wanted to completely beat this game, like complete this Passadex here that you see mentioned, I would need to play this game probably like 20 times, maybe more, and also just get lucky on spawns. So, I did as much as I'm willing to, which is actually a ton for once. But it's still a good game, good experience. I would say beat the 3 main stories in it and get the achievements you can get from there. Otherwise, past that, a little too much of a grind, but still a good game at its base. Next, we have Spiritfarer. We're coming to the last 4 here, so we're very soon going to be hitting 1,000 Gamerscore, which is exciting. Spiritfarer is a game that was on Games Pass. It's a game where you play a farer, and it's your journey. And it's the story of your journey of collecting these spirits, resolving their final like tensions and doubts about their lives, and then helping them pass on to the afterlife. So, it's a very touching, emotional game. A lot of, again, deep conversations and discussions about death and the meaning of life. Plus, also some platforming and some crafting, if those are fun things for bonuses. So, I did almost everything in this game that I possibly could, except for one achievement, which is making every spirit ecstatic, because there was the last person that I picked up. I picked her up too late, and the only way to make her ecstatic is to have someone with me on my boat who I had already let leave, so I could never get her to max happiness. But everyone else I got to max happiness, so I was one short from this achievement, and I'm one gamer score short of the completion, which is sad and it sucks, but whatever. Regardless of that, this is still a really good game, really touching, really sweet. Definitely recommend. Just in general, for Gamerscore and for just general gamers, because it has a little bit of everything. Platforming, crafting, discussions, building relationships, emotion. It's good stuff. Definitely a recommend here. Just make sure you know about the aesthetic achievement ahead of time, and try to get all of the passengers as soon as possible so you don't let one leave too early. Next we have Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Another Shantae game. This is the newest one that actually just came out in 2020. So, this is an okay game. It's probably the most Metroidvania of the Shantae games because the whole map is interconnected. But at the same time, I think it kind of worked against this game a little bit because it didn't do the Ori Metroidvania game thing, where even though the whole map was connected, it still felt like it had distinct areas. This whole map feels exactly the same, and it's really easy to get bored of the architecture and the structure of this map and the structure of this world. Like, I'm bored of it and I haven't played this game in months, so still bored of it. But still a pretty decent Metroidvania, still a pretty decent platformer. The mechanics in Shantae games are always pretty clean, especially after Pirate's Curse. So, yeah, I would say pretty solid gameplay, pretty level design, pretty story too. I don't remember much of it. But I still have a lot of hope for the Shantae games and this series as a whole. And if you like games like that, you'll still probably enjoy it. So, as usual, what I didn't get for the Shantae games are, yeah, speedruns and completing the games like without any of the upgrades. So, no thanks, too hard. But the base game is a decent experience. Next, we have Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3 is a game I have 100%ed like 4 times, and I keep 100%ing it, and then they release DLC, and then I buy the DLC and 100% it, and then they release more DLC, etc., etc., etc. So, the not ones I have is just the newest DLC that I haven't played yet. See? Designer's Cut. It's not even hard, I just haven't done it yet. So, I don't know if I have this pass, though, because I bought this game full price, actually. And then I also bought the season pass for all the games, for all the DLC. But this might actually be in season pass 2, which, first of all, fuck every game that has a second season pass on top of a first season pass. That shit is disgusting. But if it's a first season pass, I'll play it. If it's not, then I have to debate whether or not I want to pour more money into this game. Which I don't know if I do. I've already put in a lot. Anyways, I had to buy this when it came out because I love the other Borderlands games. You see, I've played a ton of them. And this one's pretty good. It's more Borderlands, more colorful, more explosions, more crazy shit. The story is ass. I hate it. Because 2 is still so much better. But it's still fun, honestly. So if you like shooters, if you like looters, if you want a game to play with your friends, absolutely play it. Just don't buy the season pass. Don't put as much money into this game as I have. Wait until it's all released and play the Ultimate Edition. Then it'll be worth it. But it's still a pretty good experience. I'm biased towards the Borderlands games, as everyone knows. So, yeah. And finally, on our road to 1000, if anyone even remembers that this is still what we're here for, the final game on our road to 1000 is Rock Band 3. There's a very funny story behind this one. So, if you remember on our list of games and our journey of games, there were a few games that we played with like weird gamer score numbers for achievements. So like 36 or like 1 gamer score or stuff like that. So they put me at weird numbers for my gamer score. Well, when I finished playing the DLC for Borderlands 3, whatever one that was, I looked at my gamer score and I was at 99,996. So I was 4 away. And I was like, huh, that's kind of a funny place to leave off. And I just kind of sat thinking about it. I was like, huh, wouldn't it be funny if I could round off my number just for the last four gamer score and just to have the full 1,000 or the full 100,000? Because I didn't really care about having an uneven gamer score number at all. But the fact that I just so perfectly happened to leave off with only four away, it just kind of crossed my mind. I was like, what if I can have the perfect 100,000? You know, get the screenshots, be cool, all of that stuff. So I did some research. I looked up what are games that have achievements that are worth exactly four. And I looked it up, and it said, one of the games that came up, it said Rock Band 3 has an achievement for adjusting the settings as soon as you get into the game that is worth exactly 4 gamer score. And I was like, huh. So I don't own Rock Band 3, but I know my stepdad does, and he lives not that far away. So I texted my stepdad, and I was like, hey, do you still have Rock Band 3 and the means to play it? And he's like, yeah, I do. Why? I was like, huh, would you mind if I come over? And I told him, so I could fucking get this one achievement and round out my gamer score. And he called me a nerd, but he said yes. So that's what I did. I drove over to his and my mom's house. I sat down, put the game in, let it install, turned it on, messed with the settings, and got my 4 gamer score. And with that last 4 gamer score, I completely evened out my gamer score. And I got to the perfect 100,000. So, yeah, I literally only played this game to turn it on for the 4 gamer score and reach 100k. So, my 100k game was Rock Band 3 at my stepdad's house, which I drove to just to get gamer score. And yeah, with that, that means I had a 100,000 gamer score, and that's where we're at now. Not really. I've since surpassed this. If you see here on our list on page, page 1, I've since played all of these games, and I'm working my way to the next 100,000. But yeah, that's been my journey. A lot of games, a lot of playing things, a lot of games I tapped out on really early, and a lot of games I grinded the shit out of. So, yeah, overall, it's been a pretty fun journey and pretty decent pace. Let's see, because we got this one September 19th, 2020. And we started June 26th, 2015. So in 5 years, I got 100,000 gamer score. Which I know isn't like the best pace, especially compared to some full-time streamers who this is all they do. But I think that's pretty good. And we had a decent little journey here. But yeah, that was my journey to 100,000. Those were the games I played. Those are my recommendations. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you had a good time. Yeah, I know this kind of video isn't really everyone's cup of tea, but I always liked watching this video when some of my favorite YouTubers would do it and talk about their favorite games. So I thought I'd give it a whirl, look back over my games, look over my journey to 100,000, and reflect. So I had a good time. I hope you all did too. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And who knows, maybe I'll see you again for the next 100,000. Thanks for sticking around. I've been Fire, and I'll see you guys in the next video.